Unfiltered, bitch.
Well, oh, excuse me, a bird was coming. I was trying to do that while we was off the air. Bitch, I can't control my gases. But anyway, well, greetings, ladies, gentlemen, theys, gays, and everybody in between. It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to Unfiltered. Well, Chris Avalon Unfiltered, I should say, but I just won't cut it for short so we get to the point. The most opinionated and unapologetic talk show currently running on the internet. Now, for those of you tuning in for the first time, Chris Avalon Unfiltered is a show where we dive into the juiciest headlines in entertainment, pop culture, and sometimes we get a little political on this good old show. So grab yourselves a drink, a snack, or whatever gets you going, and let's get into this here gig. Okay. Now, before we sip on this latest trending tea, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, which y'all can find down below, and be sure to follow all my social media platforms, which you'll be seeing throughout the show as well. Oh, and also on my YouTube, that's what I like to call YouTube, because I find this is entertainment TV or entertainment tube. I have changed my YouTube handle to the Chris Avalon. So if y'all or whoever is streaming on other places want to come and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I do need more subscribers, definitely head over and follow the Chris Avalon over on YouTube, so that way you can get all the latest in pop culture and all that good stuff, because we bring this to you once a week. Also, yes, as usual, let's thank Ashley Breathe for the theme song. Yes, a trans girl, so I work with the girls. And my friend David Labb, who put together the video, and of course I wrote the lyrics and everything for the show and everything. So for the theme song. So we have a lot to get into this today's show. We're gonna be talking about Madonna. She's been out. She was recently spotted at her boyfriend Josh Popper's boxing match. We're gonna talk about that and how she hit the internet, and seemed like she's back. She's getting back into some things. We're going to talk about this whole thing between cis women and trans women. This is just an all-out war going on. All the social media pundits are fighting. We got people in the comments with their transphobia and all this other stuff, just thinking that, it's just a hot-ass mess. We're going to get into that. We're definitely going to talk about this whole conservative raging war on a freaking Barbie movie. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about Nene Leakes and her recent interview with Carlos King. I got my thoughts on that. It's a two-parter. I cannot wait for next Tuesday so that next episode can drop, because we're gonna be getting some shit. So it's about that. Bethenny Frankel, I don't think she and Andy Cohen are friends anymore, because she is coming for his gig. Basically, he created this reality TV thing over at Bravo, and she's trying to she has become the Norma Ray of reality TV. Okay, so we're gonna get into that. And there's a former housewife who's telling people to boycott DragCon. We're gonna get into who said that in my Portia Williams Gabadia voice. Who said that? We're also gonna talk about my theories on Tina Knowles, Ariana Grande being a home wrecker, and a whole lot. There's a lot of TV we got to get into, because this week, I don't know if Mercury is in retrograde or whatever, but bitch, it seemed like the world's is like falling off the axis. Everybody's fighting, people in a mood. Oh, let me show you my shirt. I'm wearing Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I don't even know if you can see it. Winnie the Pooh in a jockstrap. Can you see his booty? Yeah, there it is. Move, wire. You see his butt? Winnie the Pooh in a jockstrap. Mm-hmm. I like to wear inappropriate t-shirts. I was spilling my oats. I want to share that. Oh, hey, Sailor Mermaid, he's in the building. Oh, yeah, we got some tea on Kylie Minogue and the Residency and stuff. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We're going to bring it up. She did the press conference and all that good stuff. So, yeah. So we got a lot of tea to get to, and let's get into it. But before we get into the craziness, let's get right into, we lost someone who, in my opinion, was a staple in music. And I love the fact that she was way ahead of her time in a lot of things. And that's none other than Miss Sinead O'Connor. So I gagged when I heard this week, I forget when it was. I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, because we lost Tony Bennett too, who was, an icon in a lot of circles. I know my great grandparents listened to. Well, no, my grandparents. What am I talking about? I'm acting like I'm old. My grandparents listened to Tony Bennett. In a lot of Latin families, Tony Bennett was the shit. So, Tony Bennett was somebody who was an icon and all this stuff. He passed away. He was like, I think 96. He had Alzheimer's. So condolences out to him. But this is about Miss Sinead. So she was 56 years old. She was so young, but I know like she has so many songs, but she didn't break out into the industry, the mainstream industry, until she covered Prince's Nothing Compares to You back in the early 90s. And I remember when I was a kid, I grew up, I remember hearing that song. And I know like there's some people who said that, with this Irish woman on camera with a shaved head, that gave them courage to like live in their truth and be okay with being bald. So I like that she gave people power in their baldness. And I think, she's been through a lot. So it was like, as of this report, her cause of death is unknown, but British police revealed to Variety they are not treating her death as suspicious. The singer was found unresponsive in her home in London just after 11 a.m. on Wednesday and pronounced dead at the scene. Police said a file is being prepared for the coroner. Now, her family had this to say in a statement. It said, "It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of our beloved Sinead. Her family and friends are devastated and have requested privacy at this very difficult time." Now, the outspoken singer has been open about her battle with mental illness. So I'm hoping that, the S word is not a cause of this. But I do know her son unalived himself back in, I believe, 2020. And this was during the pandemic. Everybody was going through some shit during the pandemic. And still is. I do think we're in a post-trauma situation regarding the pandemic. People haven't dealt with a lot of their issues of isolation and all this stuff. But I'm not saying that's what that is. I'm just putting that out there. Like, 2020 was a difficult time, a rough time for a lot of people. So she wrote on her Facebook page earlier this month that she moved back to London after 23 years and was working on new music to be released in 2024. She was also planning to tour Australia and New Zealand in 2024 and in Europe, the United States, and other territories in 2025. Now, speaking of music, the singer revealed what she told her kids to do, exactly what to do if she ever, expired. And she said, "I've always instructed my children since they were very small. If your mother drops dead tomorrow before you call 911, call my accountant to make sure the record companies don't start releasing my records and not telling you where the money is." This is what she told People magazine in a 2021 interview. The heroine educated her children on the importance of protecting her music and assets, their inheritance, so they could avoid being taken advantage of. She said, "When the artists are dead, they're very much more valuable when they are alive." This is what she said about musicians' profitability, which we all know is true because we've seen this happen. We've seen it happen with Michael Jackson. We've seen it happen with so many other artists. Whitney Houston, like they making holograms out of her and releasing Prince's music to commercials and stuff, which he would be dead against if he was alive, child. And we all know this. So she said, "Tupac has released way more albums since he died than he ever did alive, so it's kind of gross that record companies do." Celebrities such as Ice-T, Morrissey, Michael Stipe, and Cyndi Lauper share their condolences on social media, but the post that really moved me, in my opinion, was from actress Charisma Carpenter, who y'all know is from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel. She was in, she was in The Expendables as Jason Statham's girlfriend. I wish they would have brought her back, but whatever. Now apparently he's with Megan Fox in the new one. But anyway, so she shared a story about Sinead performing a tribute to Bob Dylan Madison Square Garden a week after she faced backlash for ripping off the Pope's photo on Saturday Night Live. And that was controversial because, that was about the cover-up of sexual abuse of young boys in the church. So this is what she posted. She said, "Crowd boos Chris Christopherson. Don't let the bastards get you down. Sinead says I'm not down, and she sang War at 26. So they're saying, in 1992, Sinead O'Connor ripped up a picture of the Pope on live television in protest of the rampant child sexual abuse in the Catholic Church was actively covering up. In the weeks that followed, Joe Pesci said he wanted to give her such a smack. Frank Sinatra said he wanted to kick her ass. And millionaire producer Jonathan King said that she needed a spanking. She was 26. 10 days later, she was scheduled to perform in Madison Square Garden as part of a celebration of Bob Dylan. As soon as she got to the microphone, the audience began loudly booing her, seemingly in unison. She talked later about how awful the sound was and how she thought she was going to be sick. The organizers tasked Chris Christopherson with removing, who, in case y'all don't know who Chris Christopherson is, he is a well-known singer. From when I was growing up, I remember hearing his stuff on like Light FM because my parents made us listen to that, because if we listened to the regular music, we wasn't getting ready for school. So they put on the stuff that was way before my time, the Linda Ronstadts, all that other, the Dolly Partons, all that other stuff to get us up in the morning. Because otherwise, I'd be like, y'all put on Freestyle or Taylor Dane or somebody, my ass was not getting ready for school. But anyway, Chris Christopherson is best known for playing Whistler in the Blade movies, in case y'all didn't know if the name wasn't familiar. But anyway, so the organizers tasked Chris Christopherson with removing O'Connor from the stage. He instead went out and put his arm around her and checked in on her and stayed until she steadied herself and was ready to perform. Instead of singing the Bob Dylan song she was supposed to sing, she sang Bob Marley's War, changing some of the lyrics to be about child abuse. As she came off stage, Christopherson grabbed her in a bear hug and kissed her cheek. In the video, which you can find on YouTube, you can see that she pulls away at one point and either throws up or nearly throws up. He just wraps her back in his arms and holds her tight. About the incident, he says Sinead had just recently been on Saturday Night Live, torn up a picture of the Pope in a gesture that I thought was very misunderstood. And she came out and got booed. They told me to go get her off the stage, and I said, I'm not about to do that. I went out and said, don't let the bastards get you down. She said, I'm not down, and she's saying it was very courageous. It just seemed wrong to me, booing that little girl out there, but she always had courage. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that story because I thought it was interesting that they said that. And then basically Charisma goes on to say it's not necessarily about Chris Christopherson doing what he did or whatever. It was basically about at least, this guy going up there and embracing her while she was, because I can imagine, like, can you imagine like you standing on stage and a sea of boos? Like, that's a lot of energy, negative energy, pointing at one person. How do I expect to say I would have threw up too or felt nauseous? I don't really know what I would do in that situation, but I've always felt that I applaud Sinead for her courage and for standing up for what's right, even when she's in the minority. And that was a thing. There was like back in the day, people were trying to cover up sexual abuse, still is, trying to sweep that shit under the rug. Y'all don't remove these priests, you transfer them somewhere else where they go off and do the same damn thing. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about sexual abuse in the church and this and the third, because I grew up Roman Catholic and I know all the shit from watching many documentaries and hearing the stories and seeing the shows on TV and all that mess. But I just want to say, as I stated before, I just applaud Sinead for standing up for what's right in, when it's not the most popular, especially when you're a mainstream artist. Like, not many are willing to do that. There's very few that will stand up for what's right and get ridiculed in the process. Madonna has gone through it, so many others, and Sinead was one of the ones. From what I heard, somebody said that Madonna was one of them that threw shade at Sinead. I don't know. I don't remember all of that. First of all, that was way before my time. I just remember there was certain little points in my childhood where I remember about Sinead O'Connor. And when she's gone against the establishment, she's been out talking about mental illness. She's talking about a lot of things. So shout out to her and her family. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say on that. So let's get into this thing about Barbie. Now, for the record, I have not seen the film. I have been asked to see the film. And, I will tell this joke like I've said it before. I said, nobody's that gay. They want to go see that film. But nevertheless, I will most likely see the film when it comes out on a streaming service. I just felt like, I'm movied out at the moment. I've been in and out of the movies just about every week since, like, I think since Scream 6 came out. Like I've been consistently going to the movies. And I'm at a point where it's like I gotta be real selective with movies that I want to go see in the theater. I haven't even seen Oppenheimer, but I know I have friends who have seen it and have loved the film. So I'm gonna see Oppenheimer when that comes out on streaming, and I'm gonna see Barbie when because I can't. Like, first of all, I already saw like there was a lot of people making it an event. Like like it's a big superhero movie, like you going dressed up, a lot of people wearing pink, a lot of people dressing them as Barbie, this and the third. I know Sailor Mermaid has seen it because I remember he was one of the people that asked me to go see it. I was like, child, no. And you weren't the only one. There was a couple of people like, yeah, let's go see it. I said, no, ma'am. I will wait. And like I said, so so I was like, okay, it's probably just a cute little movie, whatever. But then I saw the reviews came out, people were liking it. It made a shit ton of money, in my opinion, from what I heard, more money than what Ron Dumbass Santos was able to muster for his campaign because he was burning through money. So the movie basically made more than his whole campaign. But anyway, but speaking of conservatives, like Ron Dumb Santis, we have people like Ben Shapiro, whose balls have yet to drop with that high ass voice he got, and Ted Cruz, as well as Elon Musk, who need to worry about trying to save Twitter, and and screaming, a bunch of rhetoric on social media when you need to be worrying about your own. How he's basically running Twitter into like X, really, and you don't even own the rights to the X, but then that's what you changed it to. It's just buffoonery on his part. But anyway, so one of them went and said, Elon Musk went and posted, if you take a shot every time Barbie says the word patriarchy, you will miss out before the movie ends. And then even Whoopi Goldberg got on in the whole conversation, and basically on the episode of The View, she told conservatives, it's basically a movie. It's a movie about a doll. I thought y'all would be happy. Barbie has no genitalia, so there's no sex involved. Ken has no genitalia, so he can't. It's a doll movie. And the kids know it's colorful and it's Barbie. Well, from what I heard, well, let me finish what she said, because she also said, you guys, I want y'all to tell your daughters why you're not taking them to the Barbie movie. I want you to explain to them what's wrong with Barbie. It's a doll movie, guys. I'm shocked that that's what's freaking out these days. I mean, freaking people out these days. And then, Ted Cruz went and said some foolishness about that the movie is kissing up to the Chinese Communist Party because they want to make money selling the movie in China, basically referring to the drama over the inclusion of a map in the film that appears to show the 9-dash line, which reinforces China's territorial claims in the South China Sea, which Warner Brothers later explained the map is a childlike crayon drawing, and the dotted lines show the route from Barbie Land to the real world. But I don't know. If they decided to sneak in and be like, oh no, this is a dotted lines that's a route from the Barbie Land to the real world, and it actually is this thing, what they're doing, a 9-dash line, but then I've also heard the film is satire. But we get it. Conservatives don't understand satire. They don't understand comedy. Everything to them is fucking serious for no damn reason. As Joan Rivers said, if y'all could take a dick, y'all could take a joke. And I'm sure some of y'all log cabin Republicans who are in the closet, y'all could take a dick behind the scenes, child. But a lot of y'all want to, well, of course it's going to surpass Fast X at the box office. Fast X wasn't really that good of a movie. I mean, it had its moments, but I think at this point, people are over the whole Fast and the Furious. So I was like, child, it's time to put that franchise to bed. But nevertheless, like I said, I did not see the film. So I really didn't know what to go on, because I was like, damn, what is the movie about? How can I combat what go against what the conservatives are saying? So of course, I had to do a little research, and shout out to Men's Health. Yes, a men's magazine did an article on this Barbie movie, and it made a shit ton of sense what they were saying the movie is about. Basically, the article, if you guys want to read it in full, it's basically called Barbie Has a Lot to Say About Men, but It's Not Anti-Male. So all this stuff about the fact that Barbie is misogynistic, is anti-male, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of stupid talking points to get people riled up to distract you from the real issues. And so basically they said that the movie isn't really about Barbie. It's actually about Ken. Like, so yes, in a way, the movie basically, the IP is Barbie. You see Margot Robbie as Barbie, that she is the main character. But the one who really goes through an arc in the film is Ryan Gosling's Ken. So, um, what Ken has to go through, he's trying to figure out what it means to be a man in society, and then he goes out into the real world, sneaks out because he's in the back seat of Barbie's car, her little pink Corvette, and then because he wants to go into the real world like she does and kind of get a sense of stuff. So while she's experiencing all these different things, he's experiencing them, like, because Barbie Land, the men are subservient to the women. It's all about Barbie. It's all about the different iterations of Barbies. Barbie is the most powerful in her own Barbie Land because it's Barbie Land. Ken is an afterthought, which, quiet as it's kept, if y'all didn't see if y'all wasn't aware of the doll, Ken was an afterthought as a doll. So, portraying that in the movie, it makes more sense. So what it says is that Barbie is the film's main character, but it's Gosling's Ken who, has the arc, where he goes from subservient and standoffish male companion whose vocation may even be more apt term, is just beach, to a heightened version of a pushy, needy boyfriend to, well, something entirely different at the end, where Ken, now it's become the merch, he is Knuff. So they've decided to create merch around this whole thing, because I saw you can actually get a Ken sweatshirt that says he is Knuff. But people look at that as a weakness, and it's not a weakness when a guy, because I feel like it's a way that we as men are taught in life. Boys usually start out as innocent. They're trying to figure out their way in the world. They're trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to, but then we have this idea of heightened masculinity, that boys come in, they have to be disrespectful to girls. You got to smack a girl upside the head. You got to be disrespectful to women. You have to do all these different things. And it's sort of like Ken goes around in Barbie Land waiting for, any time of Barbie acknowledging him. He feels like he gets a sense of purpose whenever Barbie recognizes him or acknowledges him in passing or whatever. It was just like, hey, Ken, he gets that feeling of, acceptance, acknowledgement. When he has to learn to love and accept himself, that I am enough. I don't need the validation of a Barbie to exist. That's basically what the film is basically, talking about. So yes, patriarchy is used in the film, but people need to realize that patriarchy is not a bad word. But I hate the fact that we have these conservatives who love turning words that are meant to uplift and to change and to grow and to develop into a negative, like woke and so many other things that we're going to be talking about throughout this whole episode. That, when out into the real world, he experiences all these things that are stereotypes, which is movies, sports, Sylvester Stallone in cool outfits, horses, and he brings us back to Barbie Land thinking that he found the way that things should be, but then he realizes that that's not, that because you see that out in the world and you bring that back, that is not necessarily how things need to be. He has no identity outside of Barbie, and that's something that he realizes at the end of the film. But then he has to, throughout the film, he's starting to realize that he's working through that process. So, excuse me. So that's basically what it is. It's about discovery. So that's what basically he's doing. And I heard that Ryan Gosling basically tore the movie up. Like he had his little dance numbers. He had two musical numbers. And child, we had this big headed ass fool up in there. And I'm gonna steal Joy Behar's joke. She said, you would think that Matt Gaetz would like the film because, he fits, he goes after, in so many ways, the demographic that the movie is geared towards. The film is PG-13, so, he like them young. So, Sailor Mermaid says the fact that they're complaining about Barbie shows they haven't been paying attention to the film, or they didn't watch it and just chose chaos for clicks and views. Well, that's pretty much what they did. And funnily enough, when you said that Ryan Gosling did Ken justice, if you listen to before he was cast, they were like, Ryan Gosling? Why y'all picking Ryan Gosling? He too old. He don't look like a kid. So what y'all wanted? Y'all wanted, remember, who was the gay guy that was on 90210? He did look like a Ken doll, but I don't know what happened to him. The one that was the gay character on on regular 90210. I like Michael Cera, but Michael Cera is weird. That it was weird to see him in a film though, but good to see him around. Um, I'm surprised they didn't point out about one of the Barbies being played. Oh yeah, that was another one too that I heard, that there was a trans Barbie up in the. I mean, there was a trans woman that played one of the Barbies. I did hear that. I forgot who posted that on social media, but it's probably because they didn't see the movie. So that would make perfect. Why would they talk about that? They're busy. You know, you got to choose your battle. You got either bitch about a trans woman being in a Barbie movie, or you could basically take the bigger fish, which would be Barbie's anti-male. Barbie's trying to. I mean, at the end of the day, if little boys went to see this movie, what do you think they're going to do? Cut their dicks off? I mean, because Ken doesn't have genitalia? Like, I don't understand what they mean by it. Just felt to be like y'all were just looking for a reason, like you said. You know, it was just, you're trying to create a situation out of nothing for clicks and views. So take your kids to see the movie. You know, the little kids at the end of the day aren't even thinking about all these little themes in the film. They just want to see something shiny and cute and fun and look at little musical numbers and fake waves and all this other stuff. They just want to be in the moment. And plus, on top of that, from what I heard, excuse me, because I should probably told y'all, I'm going through it with my voice and my throat, because I've been sleeping. I don't know. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold, because a lot of times I sleep with the central air on, and it's right under me. So usually when I wake up in the morning, my throat be killing me. I be feeling like I'm losing my voice. So now I'm drinking this Poland Spring raspberry lime seltzer, because I'm thinking it'll help coat the throat before I read a bitch. So I definitely need that. But you know, so at the end of the day, I'm curious. Now this is making me even more curious to the movie, because at first I didn't want to see it. I was just gonna be like, oh, just wait till it comes out on streaming and blah blah blah, whatever. But I feel like now, because people are bitching and moaning, you know, that usually what happens when people tell you not to do something. You want to do it. So I'm definitely want to see this movie now because of what they were saying. So the fact that we have a men's magazine like Men's Health, who are coming to the rescue of women and saying, don't be alarmed, this film is not anti-male. It's basically about showing men that all the stereotypes that we're taught in society of what a man should be is not how you should be. You need to learn to be your individual self. You know, being rude to girls, watching action films, bulking up, all that crap doesn't make you a man. There's so much more to being a man than that. And that's going to be the ongoing theme today, because when we get into talking about trans women and stuff, that's what it's going to be too. That it takes more than what is the patriarchy, since that's a bad word. We're going to be using that again. The patriarchy tells you this is what a woman is, this is what a man is, when it's more than that. There's so much more than being a man and being a woman or being whatever, based off of what the patriarchy has put forth and said, this makes a boy, this makes a girl. So I said, well, Barbie and Ken, it takes more than what has been bestowed upon them, makes them who they are. And you have to go through life and figure out as an individual what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if people have a problem with how you work, whatever you want to work, fuck them. Because unless they paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind, in the words of Miss Mama Roo. Okay. So now, child, let's take a moment so we can get to this next topic, because it's a lot. So I was minding my business, right? Oh wait, speaking of which, there's more movies coming. I forgot to talk about that. So apparently, with the whole conservative situation with Barbie, apparently they got more Mattel movies in the works. So now they got Polly Pocket coming out with Lena Dunham writing and directing from Girls. I hated that fucking show, by the way. And Lily Collins is playing Polly Pocket. I'm not familiar with Polly Pocket. I don't know what a Polly Pocket is. I know the name is familiar, but that wasn't my demographic. And I know a lot of kids didn't grow up playing with Barbies. And I know a lot of people saying, this is not a kid's movie. And I'm like, I don't think it would be a kid's movie, because I don't think this Gen Z and all them other ones, they wasn't playing with Barbies. Gen X was, and millennials, they were playing with Barbies. I don't think Gen Z was playing with Barbies all that much. If y'all was, let me know in the comments. But let me let y'all know what they said. Mattel trying to create their own cinematic universe. They got 14 announced movies and 45 more films waiting in the wings. So we got a Barney movie, Hot Wheels I could definitely see, because they already got a reality show on Peacock. I have not watched it though, but I heard it's a cool show. I could definitely see them doing like a Hot Wheels, because they could do a Hot Wheels like a Fast and the Furious type of thing, minus the stupid stunts. So y'all could go in kind of that direction. I would want to see that. Like I said, Polly Pocket, Magic 8 Ball. Maybe they could make that a horror movie. How the fuck y'all gonna make a Uno movie? I don't know how the hell y'all gonna make a movie out of Uno, but apparently that's coming too. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Now that I can see, because remember the movie that they had, Real Steel, with Hugh Jackman? If they could do a Rock'em Sock'em Robots in that vein, I would definitely want to see that. Christmas Balloon, I don't know what the fuck that is. Thomas and Friends, is that the train? American Girl. I could definitely see an American Girl movie. American Girl is giving me very much Little House on the Prairie. Or what's the oh my god, what's the what was the I was thinking, oh my god, I can't remember. It's basically what the Fire Island movie was based on, Pride and Prejudice. They can probably go in that direction. Maybe I could definitely see an American Girl, because they would wear them little plantation dresses and all other stuff. Viewmaster, I'm not familiar with that. Matchbox, Wishbone, Major Matt Mason, and a Masters of the Universe remake, which we've definitely been asking for that. If they could go more Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones with Masters of the Universe, I would be here for it. But we definitely need a He-Man movie. I also would love to see, I don't know if it's, are they Mattel? But I would love to see them make we need a reboot of Bratz. From what I heard, and I ain't know this, T, but people slide up in my DMs or on posts, and I'd be shocked. So Mike Kilman, who is very much close to Madonna, and I usually get a lot of inside tea with him and all that. So apparently he had the script to the original movie, the original Bratz film, before Scooter Braun shady ass got a hold of it and did what he did to it. So we were gonna get a good Bratz movie back in the day. So hopefully somebody can get their hands on that. And oh, so Bratz is at GM. Well, thank you for letting me know. But still, I want a Bratz movie. We definitely need one of those. So yeah, good luck to y'all. And now I just want to get that out, because I was like, I did not want to forget about that I did have. I keep notes. Okay, so let's get into this other topic, because this is a lot, child. Like this whole thing with what's going on with trans women fighting out here in these streets with cis women and all this other stuff. Now, why are cis Black women so threatened by the trans community? I know that's probably a heavy title to kind of put out there or whatever, but I was like, minding my business when all of a sudden this whole thing was going around, where I just saw like there was a hashtag that was trending on Twitter. First of all, it was full of transphobia. Made me sick to my soul. I was like, let me get off this trolling cesspool of bullshit, because Elon Musk is running this shit into the ground. So I just kept it moving, minding my business. So all of a sudden I'm on social media and I'm like, what is going on? Like I saw this one video, then I saw Jess Hilarious going in on trans women. I didn't really pay attention to what she had to say, because I'm not a Jess Hilarious fan. I find her irritating. I don't think she's funny, whatever the case is. But I know this, if y'all like it, I love it. But I don't care for the bitch. So I don't pay attention to her and her lack of a hairline. So then I saw T.S. Madison did a video. Then Laverne Cox jumped in the conversation. Then we got Tasha K, trashy ass, jumping in the conversation because she need fucking attention, going in on T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison cussing her ass out for a whole hour. Then we got Flame Monroe, pick me, 12 years a slave, wannabe ass, jumping in the conversation, fighting with Candy from Pose, Angelica Rose. Couldn't remember her name for a second. So now they fighting. And then Amon Wiggins is jumping in the conversation. We got like every damn blogger under the sun. Then that fat bitch over at AT Alien was trying to jump in the conversation, but they dragged her ass and they told her, mind your business, bitch. Stay over there doing straight from the A and go in on Funky Don, even his alleged drug habit, because that's what she likes to ride on. So they X'd her out of the conversation, but then all this other shit was going on. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because I don't know why all of a sudden there's this infighting going on between trans women and cis women. So apparently what had happened was, because I had to do the research, and them .us summed it all up. So they said on Saturday, the comic, basically posted a response to a video of a trans TikToker because nobody knew who the girl name was. But apparently her name is Blessing Rose, who was herself responding to a transphobic TikTok comment, saying, "You don't own periods, you don't own womanhood." This is what Blessing Rose told the commenter in the original video. "You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it." And what originally initiated this conversation, from what I'm hearing, is the fact that Blessing was having a conversation with her non-binary partner about men, I guess, periods and this, that, and the third, and a person went, I guess, in the comments and posted a transphobic comment, to which Blessing clapped back. Now, here's what I have to say on this whole thing with, just hilarious. I don't know. Do we have a clip of her saying what she said? Oh no, we got the other girl. I forgot her name. And I told him, it's like, I'm drawing blank. Sorry. Yeah, we don't have a clip of her, but we got another clip of another trans girl who went in and let half. But Jess basically said, "Who the F is going to stand up for us?" clarifying that by us meant real women. The comedian proceeded to refer to trans women as having a delusion, stating, "What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? The only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only ones that fucking bleed, honey. We are the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all came from us. You can't be us. You will never." And so when you say, because I got to point it out, when you go, now, you could have made your point. Cherry the Boom, thank you. Because I don't know how I forgot her name that quick. But when you go around saying, in my opinion, who's going to stand up for us? Number one, let's break that down. Trans women have stood up for cis women for eons. When y'all were out at the whole Black Lives Matter protest, when y'all were out here, whenever you see protests, when you go to these pro-women activists, when they out in the streets and they talking about taking back the rights of women, trans women be on them, on the front lines alongside cis women. Now, when we say cis women, also, let's point this out, because I know a lot of women out here saying, "I want to be called cis. Why y'all calling us cis? I'm not no cis." Now, we ain't said SIS. We ain't talking about cis when we throwing shade. We talking CIS, which is cisgender, which basically means the gender that you were assigned on birth certificate, how you identify in your real life, all that other stuff. That's what that means. That is actually a medical term that the Black queer community has taken and is using it as a slang for us to differentiate natural women, as y'all want to call yourselves, versus trans women. So that's why we use cis. We're using it when we're making a point in a conversation. When we out in the regular streets, living real life outside of these phones and this internet and all this other bullshit, nobody is calling women cis. I don't never call no woman no cis. And I got a lot of natural woman or cisgender female friends. I don't go, "This is my cis friend Jessica." I don't say that. I go, "This is my friend so-and-so." And sometimes we be out at the club and you bring your cis girl, want to hang out with us at the club, and the trans girls be up in there with us, the gays or all that stuff, and they be like, "Oh, is she one of the girls?" Be like, "No, she's cis. She's a cisgender girl. She's a natural one," because you don't want to say natural, because natural comes across as offensive to some people. Because when you say trans women, some people don't believe that they're natural. Trans women believe they are natural. They don't look at themselves as having a mental illness, which once upon a time, that was on the books too. When it came to homosexuals, then they had to take that shit off. Because homosexuality is not a mental disorder. Neither is transgender issues, which is why a lot of times when you want to go through the situations, trans women have to go through, not all of them do, because a lot of them can't afford the healthcare and all that other stuff. So they go get the hormones and other stuff on the black market. That's a whole nother conversation. But when we're talking about medical term, where people go step by step, a lot of the trans girls have to go through a doctor, a year or two of therapy before they can go and go through the transition. Because a lot of times in the beginning, You know, the girls are going through their whole thing. And also, changing your body. There's a lot of trans people who identify as trans, but don't go through the transition process of the hormones and surgery and all that stuff. That's not what transitioning always means. There's different levels to being trans. And I feel like people need to take the time to actually educate themselves on these things before y'all come out and start saying the bullshit you're saying. Now, Jess has a right to feel how she feels as a woman. However, when you go around saying who's going, like I already told you who's going to stand up for you. There have been trans women that stand up for cis women a lot of times, but I guess a lot of times people just want to hear, believe, and they want to have selective memory when they want to make a point. She also goes and says, how are you projecting your anger on real women because you're the gatekeepers? First of all, women are not the gatekeepers of periods, because what we need to understand is that not all women identify as female. Y'all seem to exclude trans women and gender nonconforming, non-binary, and intersex people who identify as that from the conversation. So one of the things I don't like is the fact that you know, y'all like to use a lot of these, because I had to take notes just so I can remember my point. So it's like, to me, y'all, a lot of you women like to run around using these white supremacist talking points and not realizing that all the people that you're pretty much excluding from the conversation. And then what you also need to realize is, you know, you're going and using the talking points from the very same system that said that Black women aren't women, so we can legally rape them. Remember, once upon a time, that was a situation. But then you want to ride behind these talking points just so that way you could be transphobic over a period. And I know many of trans girls that'll say, y'all can keep that shit. Ain't nobody trying to have no period. I know there's cis women that don't want to have a period. It's painful. I have a sister. I have cousins. I have people that I know who have told me about situations of how it's painful and the bleeding and the cramps and being in pain for days. Like, I get it. So trust and believe, these trans girls ain't out here trying to be women. This is a lot of these stupid fucking talking points from a lot of politicians who will run around trying to say, you know, using this stuff as a way to distract y'all from the real issues. So they run around doing these same talking points that they use when it comes to migrants coming over into America. They coming to take your jobs. They coming to replace y'all. So that's the same thing that they doing when y'all talk about the trans girls with cis women. Y'all out here running this narrative, making cis women think that trans women are coming out to take your men. And yeah, a lot of the trans girls will say that, but I think a lot of times they say that as a defense mechanism because they know how to trigger y'all. They know how to get under y'all skin, because a lot of times y'all want to call them out their name and this and the third, which I read in a lot of the comments, how some of y'all, even when they speak in facts on certain situations or of their experience, the first thing y'all want to do is purposely misgender them. Especially that bitch, Tasha K, who I hope T.S. Madison files criminal charges against her, because this bitch had the nerve, because she got dragged for an hour on her show and couldn't come up with a good clapback. She decided to use and post T.S. Madison's passport that expired in 2019, by the way, so it's an old passport. We don't even know if Maddie done changed her name or whatever the case is, but Maddie has always said, I got titties up top and a dick at the bottom. I ain't never, hid who I was. I've never denied who I was as a woman. I mean, as a trans woman. I'm not trying to be a woman. I'm not a man, but I am who I am. So she went and posted her passport on social media, blacked out the barcode numbers and all other stuff, all the other government shit, but still, regardless of what you blacked out, you are not supposed to be posting nobody's passport on social media talking about God don't lie. You got your government name, Timothy Maurice and all those others. So first of all, that's her dead name, and you're purposely putting someone's dead name on social media for a read. Now, you got to get a little more clever than that. And I feel like as bloggers, as influencers of some sort in entertainment, we have a moral responsibility to get on social media and spread the right information, and not just give talking points just so you can rile up your base. That's no different than what these crazy, GOPers are out here doing, these Republicans. We all say certain things just to rile people up. We got to stop being so damn emotional, take a beat, take it in, not be so damn heated, look, do the research, educate, and stop doing it off social media and TikTok and stuff. Actually open up a book. Google is your friend. I kind of wish I would have added that to my damn song, because that was a line, and we shot it in front of the Google thing, which I actually see in a little video. But anyway, in the opening. But yeah, so when y'all say all of that and you project all this stuff out here, to me, it's just coming from a place of ignorance. And T.S. Madison even went, since we got her picture, it was like, there are so many real women that get mistaken for being transgender women, and that's where a lot of this anger comes from. I do hope they take a good look at how transphobia affects all women. And yeah, before I forget, I should bring that up, because Jess Hilarious did go on a podcast. I forget what it was. It's called Don't Call Me White Girl Podcast. And she revealed that a celebrity slid in her DMs and basically said that he would fly her out for her to penetrate him, because he thought that Jess Hilarious was a man. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Black people, we should understand that Black women have a higher amount of testosterone in their system than any other, race. And that comes from, this is why when you look at a lot of Black athletes, particularly women, a lot of them excel in a lot of sports versus any other nationality and any other race. So that's where a lot of that comes from. We do, Black people do perpetuate a lot of testosterone. We're not trying to say you all of a sudden become a man or whatever the case is, but you do produce way more testosterone than the average female, which is why, like I said, a lot of times we see a lot of Black women who excel in sports, be it, basketball, track and field, gymnastics, all those different sports that we see Black women excel in. So, and shout out to Rolling Stone, who actually were the smartest ones, in my opinion, that really put out an article on talking about this whole situation regarding the trans community. And she said, because I think I have that whole thing in here. Do I have it? Oh yeah, I do see it. It says, in her first public interview, because I thought I had it in my in her first public interview, since Madison called out Moore for her Instagram tirade. I guess Moore is Jess Hilarious's last name. Madison tells Rolling Stone that she spoke up and will continue speaking up because she wants the Black community to fight for trans people just as hard as trans people fight for them. Saying, I'm not trying to replace any female. I'm not trying to take away any woman's right to be a woman. I'm frustrated. I'm her. All I'm trying to do is exist. And I think that's what people need to realize. At the end of the day, trans people are not out here trying to steal your man. Although, like I said, there will be some that will use that as a defense mechanism because they know what gets under y'all's skin. And then, yeah, there are some trans women that be out here, but look, people need to realize we're all not people in the LGBTQ community, although we try to perpetuate this perfect image because we want to get the rights and all that other stuff, we're not a monolith. And this is why I feel like, watch T.S. Madison's video. Besides her going off on Tasha K, she did have a whole lot to say in that video that was informative. Also, watch the video of Laverne Cox breaking it down. She got a little in her, neck started rolling stuff too. But I actually, in my opinion, I love seeing Laverne Cox like that. I felt like we needed more of her being upset and really like letting her hair down, because I always have to come in with a little bit of grace. And sometimes these bitches need to be cussed the fuck out. Sometimes people need that. So I love the fact that Laverne Cox basically came out and she did her video. She was eloquent in the video, but she also had to let it be known. She had to start cussing. And I feel like sometimes you got to throw a couple of cuss words out so that way people get the point across. You can't always, when they go low, we go high. I don't believe in that bullshit. Sometimes you got to let a bitch have it to get your point across. So I think that watch T.S. Madison and watch her. Also, shout out to MJ Rodriguez, because she was somebody, she got followed by some dude earlier today when she was, I guess, on her way home, and he was trying to get her to come in his car. So there's a whole lot of crazy out here. Women are under attack. Trans women are under attack. Cis women are under attack. Y'all gotta be safe out here in these streets. Stop fighting amongst each other and all the other good stuff. But yeah, we got this clip that I wanted to point out. And this, to me, in my opinion, from Cherry the Boom, this is towards the insecure bitches out here who are just transphobic. If it don't apply, let it fly. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, this should not affect you in what she's saying. But she, in my opinion, although a little harsh, she made some points. So I know this is gonna be a long. I knew this was gonna be a long video, but let's roll the clip, and then we'll come back.
Shade, I'm gonna just keep it a bug. A lot of cisgender women are just unhappy. Let's use the term that they love. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really insecure. And a lot of real women are really bothered that trans women really look better than they really do. Since they really want this real word, bitch, you can have it. Girl, you can have it. Girl, it's not my fault that you mistaken my happiness and my femininity as a challenge. Sweetie, when I was identifying how feminine I was and how far I wanted to go and how I wanted my inside to match my outside had nothing to do with you. Okay? Because it seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to a competition. It really seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to tearing somebody else down. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Let's be clear, Miss Thing. A lot of you don't want to be you. Bitch, I speak very frequently and openly about my penis, about the type of sex I have, about the type of men that I'm attracted to. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Y'all are just mad that people are really out here moving and happy, and y'all are really mad that people are being mistaken for you and getting more respect than you do. That has nothing to do with us. That is not a reason why you should be disrespecting us and trying to make it a big thing. Girl, don't nobody want no period. Don't nobody want no motherfucking kids, because a lot of you hoes don't want no kids. A lot of y'all only having these motherfucking kids to keep a man around. A lot of y'all only having motherfucking kids because you trying to make your mom and daddy happy. A lot of y'all are married or not even married, but the ones that are getting married are motherfucking married to a man that don't respect you, probably beat you, don't give you the compliment, don't treat you like the real woman that you are. So why are you really mad at us? You're not really mad at trans women for considering ourselves women. You're mad because you don't really get respected as the woman that you really were born to be real in. Girl, stop taking all your frustrations and your disrespect down on other people. That has nothing to do with us. Anybody trying to take your place? Girl, the only reason why you feel some type of way is because we look like something. Girl, but at the end of the day, none of us are respected. And I tell y'all all the time, as a trans woman, if I would have known, I would still be a woman. But bitch, if I would have known the things the difference between being a man and a woman, girl, it sucks being a woman. Girl, do you think a person will really transition to still live a sucky life? People don't respect women. And when you are sexy, bitch, they only look at you as a sex object. Bitch, they fuck y'all ugly ass. Girl, bitch, you not mad at how men look at us because men fuck anything. Men are out here fucking children and animals. So girl, let's stop making it about what men like or what who trying to fool who. Girl, niggas don't give a fuck. We don't have to fool no motherfucking body. I'm sure some of y'all real women have seen men fuck other real women and be like, ew. We feel the same way. Girl, when I see men that talk to me and I see their baby mamas and their wives and stuff, I be like, ooh, like how you go from that to this? Like, girl, no, you got some money. The caliber of women that y'all fuck are loser. And you bitches will never be shit because you don't care to be shit. You always worried about the wrong thing. You're so worried about what a man like before you motherfucking care about what your children like. You worried about what a man will approve before you realize what your children approve. You so worried about pleasing a man before you worried about pleasing yourself. Girl, your battle is not with us. Sweetheart. The issue is not between us. Sweetheart. And then you have people in my comments like, oh, you need to change your voice. No, I don't. This is my voice. And this is how you should know I don't have to fool nobody. Bitch, I can go get my Adam's apple shave for $1,100. Bitch, it has never been a big thing of me because I am that comfortable with who I am. I don't need to go get a voice feminizer because, bitch, I'm comfortable in who I am. I never had a problem with my voice. I never had a problem with my motherfucking Adam's apple. I never had a problem with my shoulders. Bitch, I had an issue with how I identified. And then when I identified how I choose to identify and how I felt, now you bitches is mad. When a person is in their truth, you hoes still mad. Some of these hoes will get their dick chopped off and their face pulled down just to be feminine and still unhappy, still clockable. You're not going to ever be happy with society until you're happy with yourself. And once you're happy with yourself, you'll realize you'll never be happy with society because society ain't happy for you. Stupid. Pussy asshole. And I don't give a fuck how trans women represent themselves. Them hoes can't represent me. Bitch, I was her before I even knew what a trans woman was. I was her before a transition ever happened. I was her as a little boy on the playground in elementary school.
Well, Cherry preached the word. And that's why I was saying, I know a lot of people didn't like what she had to say. And I know it's a little harsh and this, that, and the third, but it's true. Like, if you are happy with who you are at the end of the day, you're not going to give a shit. It's the same thing I've said about when it comes to being gay. I'll use myself as an example. It's like, if you are happy with who you are as a person, nobody's giving you as a straight person is not going to give a fuck about who I'm sleeping with and this, that, and the third. Although there's so many people out here concerned with who I'm hunching and who this, that, and the third. You wouldn't give a damn about this trans woman. I just think a lot of women are just worried because they feel like, bad enough we losing our men to white women. Now we got to lose our men to trans women. And it's sort of like, guys will, like she said, and I can vouch for this, guys will stick their dick in any fucking thing. Particularly, let me not go there because y'all gonna get mad when I say the type of men that will stick their dick in anything. But if y'all living in New York City, particularly in the Bronx, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, child, and Harlem. So, nevertheless, I just want to say that, Cherry, I'm with you in what you said, and the fact of the matter is like so many people go out here and they get plastic surgery, they do all this other stuff, and they do what they do. What I don't like is when women go out here and y'all are sitting there trying to literally dilute the female experience down to just parts. So, you're not a woman if you don't have a baby. You're not a woman if you don't have a period. Not a lot of people have the ability of having periods. There's a lot of people who have all kinds of issues medically, and unless y'all got an MD at the end of your last name, I don't think y'all should be out here talking about what is real, what is natural, what is part of biology, and what isn't part of biology. Unless y'all picked up a book and did some educating of yourself, or if you actually, have a medical degree. Because, I feel like we as people of color, we come with so much baggage. We have something where I shout out to Laverne Cox for bringing this up. She said post-traumatic slave syndrome. We have so much that comes from I feel like our answers would have had to do with slavery and stuff, and how that trauma has been passed down from generation to generation to generation. And then of course religion rearing its ugly head. We're talking about what is natural, what isn't natural. First of all, trans people, gay people, homosexuality, all of that existed long before Catholicism and Christianity. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Before there was a thing called Christianity, homosexuality, and transitioning, people who are two-spirited, that sort of thing, that has existed since the dawn of time. Since before speech replaced sign language, these things have existed. It is now because of religion and all the other stuff that has reared its head. That is where all that comes from. It's like, yes, intergenerational trauma. All that stuff passes down from generation to generation to generation, and we pass that on. And until we can learn to heal our own trauma that stems from our childhood and things that are going on with us, we're not going to be able to move forward. We're not going to be able to evolve as a species, because at the end of the day, this is all physical. This, what you're looking at right now, this is a physical body. This is not all of who I am. I have a soul. The soul is balls of energy that makes up who we are. That is who we truly are on the inside. This is just the physical manifestation. But in my opinion, I feel like that we're just a ball of energy, a ball of light. When all those energies are like, when I was talking about Sinead O'Connor before, that was all that, that time when she ripped up the thing with the Pope, that was all that negative energy coming towards her, and she felt all of that. And then that's why she felt like she had to throw up. That's what we all are made up of. And so we have to realize that we are beyond the physical. Because when we die, this physical ain't gonna be here. It's gonna be laying on the ground. It's not gonna have to cremate us or put us in the ground. So we got to get ourselves away from these white supremacist talking points that we have learned from the colonizers on what y'all think is gender constructs, sexuality constructs, because sexuality and gender are two different things. It's constantly evolving. Look, today I just found out a new damn term that I never heard of. It's called, and I had to put it in my damn notes. It's called abrosexual, and basically it means a person who is abromantic may want to have a romantic relationship but not necessarily want to have sex. A person who is abrosexual may want to have sex but not necessarily want a romantic relationship. However, sometimes the two terms are used interchangeably. So sexuality, gender, constantly evolving on a daily basis. I know I gotta come up with a new term. I gotta learn this. Well, look, as long as we're an evolving species, we're gonna have to learn these evolving pronouns and these evolving terms. So at the end of the day, I saw somebody else post, oh, you putting on a wig and a dress don't make you a woman. Yeah, it doesn't, because first of all, women don't own heels. Women don't own wigs. Women damn sure don't own dresses, because back in the day when men wearing heels and wigs and certain things, that was actually a sign of what's the word? I don't want to say privilege, but maybe it was kind of privilege, but it was a sign of social status. When you saw men back in the day, they wore like these 2-inch heels or whatever the case was. They wear the big wigs that back in the days of Amadeus. That's basically what that was. That was a sign of social status. It had nothing to do with sexuality and gender stuff. Y'all like to run out here and put gender constructs and sexual constructs and all these things. Y'all like to sexualize every fucking thing. Kids be out here doing stuff. Oh, y'all sexualizing the kids. Everything is not sexual with people. Sometimes y'all just need to really open up a book and educate yourselves and learn things about history. But how can you also, when we got politicians out here who trying to literally erase history? Don't even get me started on the latest thing that's going on in Florida, where they trying to talk about that racism, that black people learned working skills from being slaves. We don't get into that foolishness. But anyway, I feel like I'm going on and on and on with this story, and we only two or three topics in. And then I saw like also Sydney Starr was trending again because Chingy went on Vlad TV, and they still bring up the whole thing about saying he ruined her career. Bitch, ain't nobody ruin your damn career. You ruined your career. You only had one good damn song any fucking way. And Rock Borrow, that was the only song I can remember that you ever did. You was a wannabe. You was basically like a poor man's Nelly. And now you want to sit out here and blame your whole career going in the toilet on Sydney? At the end of the day, nobody can ruin your career but you. You can't say, homophobia and transphobia does play a big part in our industry, but it is what it is. But look, all I want to say is I love my trans girls. My heart breaks for y'all. I love my cisgender women. Yes, we don't run around using that word in real life, but like I stated before, we're only using the cis word in conversations to differentiate trans women from natural women, or we could say AFAB, which would be assigned female at birth, which is what we basically use when AFAB queens, which are women who are born female and identify as female, do drag. So that's what we use AFAB for. So y'all want us to call y'all AFAB girls. We can do that too. I'm like, just call me a woman. Well, look, I can do that too. But like I said, in real life, that's what I do. I call women women. I introduce my friends, my female friends, as their names and this, that, and the third. But when we're having these kind of conversations is the only time cis comes up. So don't get caught up in the bullshit. Don't let the distractions distract you with the politicians or other stuff. Really take the time to take a beat, educate yourselves, because we are better together than apart. And that's what our government and that's what these freaking patriarchy people are trying to do. They're trying to separate us and keep us infighting while they steal away our rights as human beings. Like, we literally have So much the whole chest feeder thing, the whole bonus hole, all that bullshit. I'm not buying into that foolishness either. I'm not going by that foolishness. And also, what is it? They said 20 states are preventing trans health care. Women are policing women's bodies in bathrooms. We got cis women being mistaken for trans and killed. We had a girl on a playground who was playing sports with I think she was in it was like softball, soccer, or something or another, and the girl's hair was cut short. And there was an older man that was there, and I guess one of his kids or grandkids or somebody was playing a sport, and the man going around ranting and raving, why is that boy playing sports with the girls? That's not no girl. And it's like, that is a girl. Her hair's cut short. So apparently women, and we know this through history, women cutting their hair short, you're either a lesbian, you're not a girl, you're a boy pretending to be a girl, or you're a girl pretending to be a boy. It's like there's always these senses of ignorance and transphobia and homophobia that plays into a lot of gender constructs. You're not a girl, you're a girl. What girls are is you gotta have long hair, you gotta wear dresses, it's gotta be pink, it's gotta be all these things. This is all, like I said, constructs created by the patriarchy to limit you to put you in boxes and say this is what you are and that's it. Well, like I said, gender and sexuality, complex, constantly evolving. And now I'm done with this topic because I could go on for hours and I don't want to do that because we got a lot more topics to get to. So speaking of people who, should get and own their truth and embrace who they really are, let's talk about Dwight Howard. So Dwight Howard is responding to accusations that he assaulted a man who claimed they met on Instagram. The 37-year-old ex-Los Angeles Lakers player denied he battered anyone, claiming he's not even that type of person. Now, shout out to Hot New Hip Hop for this story. Now, in recent weeks, a lot has been made of the personal life of former NBA player Dwight Howard. Royce Reed, who y'all know used to be on Basketball Wives, and the mother of Howard's eldest child released a number of shocking revelations about the former NBA player. This man is evil. Y'all fall for it every time. Ask him why he's telling a 12-year-old he's gay because he hadn't touched anything or watching porn with them. Better yet, why it took 4.5 years, well, 4.5 years, to fire the nanny that molested 2 of his kids. I got time today. He took this little boy from his grandmother that raised him and kept her in court for 2 years, only to give him to his parents while he was overseas. She basically abbreviated, but we go get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. That's basically what she abbreviated. So while y'all constantly out here pointing fingers at me, understand there's a reason why. Reed also claimed that Howard had asked her to be the matriarch of his polyamory test, something she refused to do. Furthermore, Howard is reportedly facing a lawsuit alleging sexual battery. Model Stephen Harper claims after flirting with Howard over text, he was assaulted by former NBA star at Howard's home. According to Harper's lawsuit, Howard performed non-consensual oral sex on Harper and forced Harper to perform non-consensual oral sex on him also. Now Howard has addressed all the recent allegations on a podcast appearance. So he appeared on The Way Up with Angela Yee, and he basically addressed the allegations. To me, I felt like that whole time Angela Yee was giving him the side eye, but she got to be neutral when she's on that show. So he addressed the rumors about his parenting ability and sexuality. He said, people say like I don't spend time with my kids, or I'm a deadbeat dad, or I would do anything to hurt my kids. All the other noise that people say about everything, what my personal life is, that's my personal life, or make public statements about something private of mine, like who in my bed or anything like that. He also specifically addressed the rumors that he was homosexual. He says, of course they're going to say things like that to keep this negative train going. We got to find a way to assassinate this man's character. My focus is not those people are conspiring against me. My focus is on the podcast that I'm trying to get out. So at no point, I should point out, does Howard directly address the lawsuit or allegations of sexual assault, nor does Yee directly ask him about the lawsuit. However, the comments about people conspiring against him could be taken as shots against both Royce and Harper. Overall, Howard's interview with Angela Yee is a subtle denial of any myriad allegations being made against him without saying anything that could be definitely used against him. In short, Howard essentially dodges the allegations with vague platitudes and affirmations. And here's the thing, I am calling cap on this whole conversation. I do not believe Dwight at all. I do believe that he might be a deadbeat. I do believe Royce. I know some people are like, well, why is she speaking out now? Why the fuck not? I think, didn't he take a gag order or something out on her, this, that, and the third, where he sued her at one point and basically got majority of her money? So he said that they're going to say things that assassinate his character. How is it assassination of character when it's a known fact that you do get down with the girls? And I'm talking about, we were talking about trans women in the last episode, so we're going to bring it on over in this episode, in this topic. Apparently, Dwight Howard likes the girls with a little something extra. And I know many of people who can vouch for this. So, where Dwight Howard's out here trying to deny what he liked, at this point, you're running out of money. You're not even, I don't even think he still plays basketball. You're an ex-Lakers player. You're not that relevant. So why not just come out and own your truth? Is it because, you know, where we say like black men have a hard time trying to come out and admit what they really like and what they get down? And he gives me full on closet queen. Like, I get that. Like, there's certain girls, I mean, certain men that you look at and you can definitely look at Dwight Howard like, child, we know you get down. Like, I've been on this earth. Okay, so he basically plays overseas. So he's relevant in Taiwan. But he's not relevant in the United States of America. Because he's making that overseas coin. But anyway, so don't they got lady boys over in Taiwan? He probably hunching them too. Unless you got a specific type. But bitch, if you in Taiwan, you ain't gonna see many black people over there. So just hunch the lady boys. There's many people that can, you know, the one thing that I love about our community is that we hold all the cards. We know all the shit. We know who gets down with the get down. So Dwight can sit up there and lie till the cows come home and fill, you know, y'all all with the Grimm's fairy tales. But the facts are the facts. So, is that the person that he accused? Because I never knew that's what the model looked like. Oh, she's definitely giving. She allegedly. We should say that allegedly. Cause child, you are not gonna Tasha K me with spilling the tea. But look, I know there's some people I know that do not like the fact of outing celebrities. But I feel like when you talk bad on our community, there's a difference. Like, I'm not gonna just flat out, hold on. I need a sip of the sip. Oh, I'm not gonna flat out, you know, out somebody for the sake of outing them. Like, I don't do that. I'm not tacky in that way. But when you talk shit about the community and we know how you get down in our spaces, like, you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't just be coming up in our circles and hunching the girls, be it gay men, trans women, or anything in between, and think that you are not going to get the smoke. Because if you're going to talk shit on our community, yes, bitch, I'm outing your ass. I don't give a fuck. So, what is it? Is it pronounced Elijah? Because you put Elije, so I'm assuming that's Elijah. That's the name. Or is it like, you know, they get all dramatic with Elijah? You know, some people get real dramatic with them names. So, you know, shout out to the accuser, shout out to Royce Reed, and shout out to, well, don't shout out this damn mess. Because Dwight, you are a mess. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about my girl Nene Leakes, who I was living, honey, when I saw this episode of Carlos King. Now, you know, normally I do not watch anything with Carlos King. I don't watch them Huntsville shows, Love and Marriage. I don't watch nothing. I don't even know where OWN is on my damn TV. Well, quiet as it's kept, I only run on internet, so I don't watch any regular television. Everything is streaming service. So I wouldn't even know where to tell you what OWN is on anything. I don't know where OWN is on my TV. But anyway, so Nene Leakes appeared on Carlos King's podcast, Reality with the King. And the icon in reality television didn't hold back on spilling the tea on a plethora of topics. Now, she got into a lot of things, and we're going to talk about it. So, Nene shared with Carlos that she was only paid $10,000 for the entire season, first season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She said that basically she filmed the show twice. She filmed the pilot twice. So they did a pilot where it was just her, Kim, and Sheree. When it was just them three, where they filmed the pilot so that way they could shop it around to different, places. Then they shot the pilot again, but this time it was like, Nene, Sheree, Kim, Deshawn, Lisa Wu, that whole group. Because they had some more girls when the show was picked up. And Nene also shared that she did receive $5,000 in additional pay for the reunion, but that was it. Any trips, dinners, or parties thrown came out of their own personal pockets. And I've always heard that story that whenever you see them throwing the extravagant parties and stuff on the Real Housewives, the cast foot the bill. It was never Bravo, which always is crazy to me. That it's like if you are putting money into a show, particularly a reality show, why am I paying money out of my pocket for scenes? Like I'm literally having to pay money out of my own pocket to throw parties when the network should be doing that. The network got the money. NBC is swimming in coin. So I don't understand why they couldn't foot the bill if they got, if y'all want to film scenes and scenarios, y'all should be footing the bill for these parties. So anyway, let me get back to the story. So they said, as shocking as this sounds, it turns out that they weren't the only ones that were grossly underpaid. Bethenny Frankel, a story we're going to get into later when we talk about her, shared that she only received $7,250 for her first season of RHOA, while stars of Real Housewives of OC were only paid $5,000 for their first season. It's wild to think that the pay was so little given the popularity Bravo gained because of it. Now, Nene also felt that she was the underdog in the early days of the series. Kim and Sheree had more money than she did, which created this feeling. And given that fans now know that Sheree intentionally left Nene off of the list in that infamous early episode that was Sheree's birthday party, it's easy to see why she felt like the underdog. Despite this, didn't they do the same? I feel like they did the same to Bethenny when she first came up. But anyway, despite this, she chose to be 100% herself on the series, and that moment of not being on the list became a blessing in disguise. It cemented Nene as a fan favorite. She said that the first 4 seasons were really about their personal lives. No implanted storylines needed. As more housewives joined the show, Nene became more wary of the new wives' intentions. RHOA was the first all-black ensemble reality series that had hit television since the Flavor of Love era, which had began fizzling out a year or so prior. RHOA relaunched the Black reality program, and Nene felt initially very protective of the series. She believes the series paved the way for more Black reality franchises like Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop, which it did. Nene has a clear idea of what she believes reality TV should be. She believes it should be real, which is what drew people to the show in the first place. When new wives started showing up, that became more crafting, like having fake boyfriends and other unrealistic drama. Well, the fake boyfriend stuff, I guess she was referring to Kenya. She was in the other unrealistic drama. She was initially against Phaedra Parks joining the show due to having known her in the past in Athens, Georgia. She warmed up to her, of course, but did notice that she and a few others did not want to show their authentic selves to the world. Phaedra's lies about when her baby was due led to a weird twist in the storyline. Not knowing your own child's due date is frankly impossible unless you aren't seeing a doctor at all. Things shifted even more in season 5 when Kenya Moore and Portia Williams joined the series. When Carlos asked if Nene felt that Kenya was the reason the show changed, she didn't necessarily say that was the case, but the shift did happen around the same time. Despite these shifts, Nene stayed true to who she was, and while she has some regrets about things seen on the show, she does not regret her time on the series. Now, about Cynthia. She met Cynthia for the first time shortly after she was cast in season 3. She shared Cynthia was starstruck and nervous, and she felt like Cynthia may have been too quiet to join the cast at the time. Things changed when she met Peter, though, Peter Thomas, all his financial troubles, and felt he was the polar opposite of the quiet Cynthia. Peter was extra, and she shared that if Cynthia wasn't with Peter, she may not have been cast on the show. This is not to say that Cynthia couldn't handle herself. In fact, she shared that Cynthia the Cynthia she knows off screen is very different than what she portrayed on TV. It appeared that Peter was the one in charge of their marriage, but much like her and her late husband Greg Leake's relationship, Cynthia was the one in charge. Fans often take what they see on the show at face value, and the ones who seemed louder seemed to be the bossy one. Nene said that Cynthia could hit Peter and read anyone fulfilled. When asked about what happened to her and Cynthia's friendship, she believes that Cynthia let other people's opinions get into her head. Nene misses that friendship but says it isn't salvageable due to some alleged shady things happening behind the scenes. When Carlos pressed further, she shared that she believes Cynthia was working with producers to get her fired. Not only that, but it seemed as if everyone who joined the show would immediately try to come for her, something that she believes was orchestrated by the producers. This certainly adds to the understanding of her current beef with Bravo and Andy Cohen. Despite the efforts, everyone knows that Nene was the star of the show, and it has suffered a lot since she left. And yeah, that's basically so far what we got from the topic. And shout out to Collider for putting all that together, because I would have been all over the place trying to organize what I was going to talk about. But I agree. First of all, I've been a little hard on Nene because I felt like a lot of times she acted like she was too good for the show. Her attitude was out of control. And she would throw shade and this, that, and the third and all those other mess. And I would think like, okay, Nene, you acting stink, whatever. But when she pointed out that, they would hire people like a Kenya or all these other girls, bring them on the show as a way to try to get Nene off because she was getting too big for her britches. She was the star. And I have to be honest, I didn't watch any of the Real Housewives franchises until Nene Leakes and the whole RHOA franchise came along. Because I remember I was watching something and Anderson Cooper, I've told the story many times, and I'm going to keep telling every time we talk about this thing with Nene. Anderson Cooper could not stop raving about Nene Leakes. And I don't know, at the time, I was obsessed with Anderson Cooper. I don't know why, but I was. I think he had a talk show at the time. He was looking like this, this zaddy type with the salt and pepper hair. He was just giving me cute and gay. So I was obsessed with all things Anderson Cooper at the time. So anything Anderson Cooper said, I was salivating at the damn mouth. So I was like, let me watch this damn show because Anderson Cooper is talking about it. And so I watched the show and I fell in love with Nene and I fell in love with a lot of the characters. Kim looked a hot ass mess with that synthetic wig and her cigarette and doing anything for, spoiling the hell out of her daughters and Big Papa and Close Your Legs to Marry Me. So many iconic moments. And the fact of the matter is, Nene also says she profits from none of the quotes that she came up with on the show. Like she has Close Your Legs to Marry Men, Trash Box Hooker, Bloop, bling, 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 bling. She has so many different phrases that she is iconized on the show, and she makes no money from it. And it's fucked up that so many of these reality stars put their blood, all they want is a shot at fame. All they want, and when they all those ask them, they put their blood, sweat, and tears for our entertainment. And the fact that these networks don't want to pay them a good wage, they don't want to take care of their art. A lot of these reality stars, they treat reality TV artists like the shit under their shoe, and then they exploit them. They put them through so much shit just so they can put a show together. And then when you look at it, it's like they really are not privatizing. So that's why it's like crazy to me that it's like I understand where Nene's coming from, and I'm really looking forward to next week's episode because it's a two-parter. Next week they open up about the lawsuit between Bravo and Andy Cohen. I really hope she goes in and lets us know what's going on. And I have to give a shout out to Carlos King because he did a great job with this interview. They were up in there cackling like two old girlfriends, having a great time and just shooting the shit. And Nene looks great. I live for the wig that she had on, the outfit, the titties was up and perky. The surgery was surgery in, basically. It was like Nene was giving fierce, like money well spent. And so shout out to her. I'm looking forward to this next episode that's going to be coming up. And I like seeing a more relaxed, subdued side of her. Like she's been going through, she also talked about Bryson, her son. And she basically said, and we're going to get into, that's going to be the next one because we got to transition to the next topic. She talked about Bryson, which we're about to get into this topic now. And she, he asked about it and I was so glad that she talked about it. She got ahead of it. She's not going to let people come out and say all their craziness about her child. And basically she said that Bryson has had issues with addiction for years. She has spent a lot of money getting him in rehab. He would go, he comes out, He relapses, going to all this other stuff. She said she's had many phone calls with a lot of people, including Lamar Odom, because Lamar Odom has a rehab facility. Said they will go get him, and they will, rehabilitate, like get him clean and all this other stuff. I didn't realize there's so many damn rehabilitation centers in upstate, but apparently there is. Because 2 people from upstate said they were going to send them to their facilities there. And what she had said she had to realize is that Bryson hasn't, because people are like, well, why is she turning her back on him? She's not turning her back on him. But it comes a point where your son is in his 30s, he has addiction issues. He has to be the one to walk through that door and want to get ready. You can't be like, okay, get your ass up. We're taking you to rehab. You're going to get clean because I said you're going to get clean. He's not going to want to get clean. An addict has to hit their low. They have to hit their rock bottom and want to come to the revelation and want to work their shit out before anybody can tell them that they need to get their mess together. So, that's basically what she said. But apparently, his baby mama is calling cap on the comments, on Nene's comments regarding her son's recent drug arrest. Now, in an exclusive interview with Radar Online, Simone Davis, whose son Blaze was declared Bryant's biological child by Gwinnett County Superior Court in 2020, claimed that contrary to Leaks' concern over her son's addiction, she and Bravo franchise are particularly to blame for his downfall. Now, as Radar Online reported, Leaks' son was taken into custody on July 3rd and charged with felony possession of fentanyl and a misdemeanor for loitering prowling. At the time of his arrest, Bryant claimed to be his younger brother, Brent Leaks. He was later hit with an additional charge of giving false name, address, or birth date to a law enforcement officer after police discovered his real identity. When asked on Carlos King's podcast if the reality show contributed to her son's drug issues, Leaks replied, "I don't think it helped." Davis, however, believes RHOA changed Leaks, which affected her relationship with her oldest son. "I know the show didn't specifically affect him, but it did change his mother," she told Radar Online. When pushed about how being cast as a Georgia Peach changed Leaks, Davis alleged that Bryant always said that the money changed his mom. She also claimed that Brent was shown the love and affection that Bryce always wanted and never got. In Davis's eyes, RHOA ruined Bryant's relationship with his mother, which was a bond he always wanted. Davis also added that Bryson is still dependent on Leaks, claiming that RHOA star holds that over his head. Leaks doesn't acknowledge Blaze as her grandchild despite the court's paternity ruling, and according to Davis, has never met the child. "She is a bully," Davis stated, telling Radar Online that she has sent photos and videos of Blaze to Leaks. She sees them but doesn't respond. And they said that they reached out to Leaks for her team for comment. And Davis said she wouldn't shut the door on the ex-housewife if she showed interest in building a relationship. Saying that it would be nice for the grandmother to step up to make this happen. Davis would want to have an adult conversation. Well, guess what? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Nene is interested in having a relationship with you because here you are running to the press, painting her to be this horrible human being. And my thing is, I want to know more about this girl that she is so quick to want to talk to the press, excuse me, about Nene and saying that she is the cause for her son's addiction. No, whatever went on in his childhood, because a lot of times shit stems from childhood trauma, and I do believe that, you know what, Bryce didn't necessarily grow up in front of the cameras. He was, as she reminded us in the interview, he was, I believe, a junior or senior in high school when the show first, started to gain traction. And then she did at one time when I think he got arrested or something for the first time. I've never been more disappointed. She did do that on camera because reality TV wants you to be real and they want to show all aspects of your life. So therefore she showed that. And I guess, that not realizing what that would do to a young man who is a bystander in your race to stardom. Same thing like when her and Greg got a divorce, because Greg was the breadwinner. Greg is old school. Greg is somebody who, expected to take care of the family, take care of the kids, this, that, and the third. And Nene's looking at this situation and is like, I'm the mother, now I'm making more money than the husband and I'm the breadwinner and I no longer have to depend on Greg for money. Now he's looking at it as like, well, where do I fit in? So there's this whole give and take about the men role versus the woman role, and women always have to depend on their husbands when women should always have their FU money just in case. And Nene just became this big star. She wanted to be an actress, and Real Housewives of Atlanta gave her that opportunity. And then when you realize with all that fame and you're shot to fame and stardom and all that other stuff, you don't realize what that does to someone. So Nene's become this big superstar on TV. You don't realize, okay, it's a trickle down effect. How does this affect my kids? How does this affect the husband? And everybody's going through these different emotions and these things simultaneously in real time. And now you have Nene, who is just like trying to figure out how to navigate and make this work for her. So it's a whole lot of components, a lot of moving parts. And I feel like Nene needs to work out whatever she wants to work out with her son and this baby mama. You need to just be the baby mama and mind your damn business and stop and don't interfere. Same thing I said about Melissa and Teresa. Melissa, stay out of the drama between Melissa and her brother Joe. I mean, Teresa and Joe. Stay out of that. Let the siblings work that stuff out. Spouses should not interfere with sibling affairs. Let them figure out how they're going to work that shit out. Don't get in the middle of it. Stay on your side, like Louis stay on his side. Same thing with Nene. The baby mama need to stay over there in the corner, mind her business, and let the mother and the son work their shit out whenever he can get himself together into a place where he gets his addiction under control. He works through a lot of his demons stemming most likely from that childhood. Because I don't know what, if, whatever the situation is like with, what all this stems from, but I'm sure it has to do, the root of it is, and we got the little thing at the bottom of substance abuse treatment. We always try to be informative and helpful on this show whenever we can. So yeah, I'm rooting for Bryson. I hope he really gets it together. I really hope that he is, once he gets out of jail for whatever the situation, because I heard he's still there. I don't know if he's out as of this story, but hopefully he works his stuff out and is able to get himself together and to a place where he can work things out, and him and his mother can have a sit down and work out their situation, or he can get into therapy and start working his stuff out. But Nene grown child, she out here worrying about child, and she's been through a lot. She lost her husband, she lost Greg, may he rest in peace. Bryson, is in jail dealing with his stuff. You had Brent, who damn near died, had a freaking, a heart attack, and at his young age. So there's a whole lot going. She's been through a lot. So shout out to the Leaks family, and hope y'all all get it together, because this is messy. And like I said, I'm looking forward to that interview next week, part 2. All right, so let's move on. And speaking of reality, let's transition from Nene and let's talk about Miss Bethenny. So now, former Real Housewives of New York City star Bethenny Frankel is on a mission to create a union to protect reality stars and shades former Bravo boss Andy Cohen in the process. Now, in an interview with ET, Bethenny was asked about Anthony's responsibility amid the turmoil. She said the host and executive producer is responsible for one very specific group of women, and all the housewives clamored to be his friend and be in high standing. She claimed their reason is a desire to be asked back to the party, come on his show, and be his favorite, according to the alum. However, Andy's favorites change. Isn't he a Gemini? I think he is. Nobody, including Andy Cohen, has anything that I want, said Bethenny, who claims this is why she's the perfect person to speak about the issues of reality stars. Burn me to the ground and cancel me. I've checked my balance. I'm good. Speaking of Cohen, the businesswoman and TV personality recently reunited with her former co-star, and I have to say, when she hooked up with Jill Zarin this week on her Just Be With Bethenny Frankel podcast, bitch, I was living. I love the fact that it was great to see Jill Zarin and Bethenny back together and working through their stuff. Although I will have to say the podcast irritated me because Bethenny does not at times know when to be quiet. And is that a New York thing? Like a lot of times, y'all be always I'll include myself sometimes. We'll be so quick to want to get things out because it's been so long since we've been around certain people that it's like you don't take the moment to listen. You always have to have the last word, or you always gotta project whatever. And I really wish at times that Bethenny would have allowed Jill to finish a sentence before she cut her off. She also said that Bravo producers were allegedly to blame for sending cameras to the somber event, causing a beef between the two ladies, because there was a situation where, if y'all remember, during one of the seasons, Bethenny went to the funeral for Jill's husband, Bobby, and cameras actually caught everything. But Jill said she didn't know that the cameras were going to be there. What she had talked to Bravo producers was about that after, I think she said the Slater and the funeral and stuff, what she wanted was all the girls to come back to the house, whatever, and have like a little reminiscing moment amongst the girls about Bobby and this, that, and the third, and just reminisce about him and stuff. And then the girls were supposed to film, and the girls said they weren't going to film, and they found out the reason why is because Bethenny apparently brought cameras to the funeral when she said she didn't. There was a whole mix of misunderstanding. Bravo producers did some shady shit so they can capture the moment, which a lot of these producers do. They do some snake shit, and then make you think like, oh, that so-and-so was for it when they weren't. So there was misinformation going around. Meanwhile, the producers be the main ones that be messy for a moment. And yeah, so there was that, but the reality was Dorinda and oh my God, so three of them, what was it? Ramona, Dorinda, and Sonia and them, they decided they didn't want to come back to the house because apparently they felt that, Bethenny was the one that got to have the moment and they wanted to be the first to have the moment. So it wasn't even about Bobby. It was about y'all want to have a fucking moment because that's how selfish a lot of these damn reality stars are, which is why I'm all for Bethenny trying to start this whole union thing, but I don't know if it's gonna work because we got, like I said before, too many crabs in a barrel, too many girls that's so thirsty for fame, too many girls that are so quick to want to be Andy's favorite and kissing his stank ass that y'all will not be willing to allow a thing to happen where people can all eat at the table because y'all too damn selfish and so insecure and so wrapped up in wanting to be famous. Y'all egos will be your downfall. So we're gonna talk more about Bethenny and Andy and stuff she said about him when we come back from this following clip that we have of Bethenny speaking about the whole, unionizing of reality stars. So we're gonna play this clip and we'll come back with more.
On Andy Cohen. So we came up together. He was a network executive, became a reunion host and a talk show host, and I had my own trajectory on a parallel path, working my way through the entertainment industry from a different side. We've shared many beach walks and secrets, and I was the highest paid housewife of all time. I rated, and I am in a position to discuss a possible union and fair and equal treatment for all reality talent because I'm not disgruntled. I don't have my own agenda for myself, something I'm asking for. This is not a lawsuit, and this does not have anything to do with just one person or one network. I've always understood that Bravo's Andy's first priority and the housewives. That's the realm that he protects. Those are the secrets that he keeps. The first time I ever heard him say something not directly to me, but in public, was about rewives when he said negative things about rewives. And then I went on his show and felt ambushed, but that's the name of the game there. There are going to be polls and discussions, and they're designed to kind of make people look bad, produced questions. But that's how you go, promote your products there. You got to take a couple of hits. And I have had opinions on the franchise in particular and reality TV and in particular, but I haven't felt comfortable really totally expressing that because I didn't want to say anything untoward about Andy or about the housewives, the place that I came from. But I've grown increasingly uncomfortable with certain things. I've been put in situations where I've felt that it wasn't safe. I recently found out that I crashed a funeral, and that was very jarring because it's felt like there is exploitation without compensation for many people. I've now, in the past couple of days, heard stories about people whose spouses have lost jobs and people who have been threatened with contracts that they cannot use their own business and work on their own projects afterwards because the network has to own them. And then, yes, of course, there's the Bethenny clause and all of these different things that I'm thinking about that aren't equal and fair, and reality talent isn't compensated properly by and large. And I've run this by lawyers and people that work with unions and heads of the entertainment industry and asked point blank, do you think I'm right? And they have all said yes. So I know that I'm right. And there are over 100 people that have also told me that I'm right, who work in this industry. Many of them are scared and threatened and have gag orders, and contracts are being used as weapons. But I want an answer because I deserve an answer. We deserve an answer, and we're going to get the answer we deserve.
And yes, I am here for all that Bethenny Norma Ray Frankel is putting into place. And she has run it by some lawyers. And I know the two lawyers that she's basically gotten on her side. So, to conclude with that, reality TV pitbull Bethenny Frankel is ready to go to war with TV network overlords regarding reality TV compensations and has enlisted Hollywood powerhouse attorneys Brian Friedman and Mark Garagos to get the ball rolling. Now, Variety reported today that Friedman tells Variety that he has heard from roughly 50 reality show cast members from various docuseries and competition shows who believe that they were used and unfairly treated by TV networks and streamers. Something has to change because the current system is broken, Garagos says. Frankel's quest comes amid the writers and actors strike that has effectively shut down Hollywood. Reality TV can still be produced during the double strike, and most networks will be heavily relying on unscripted programming this fall. But Frankel, I don't know why I keep calling her Franklin, one of the most prominent personalities that come from Bravo's The Real Housewives franchise, has taken a stance that reality stars should unionize to fight for their rights as well. Just because you can exploit young, doe-eyed talent desperate for the platform TV gives them, it doesn't mean you should, Frankel previously said. They don't know what they don't know. I was playing chess, but how do I help the people who may not know the game? Frankel first began speaking out on social media amid the strikes, but now, with the support of two prominent attorneys, she's hoping the fight to protect lesser-known reality stars may prove to be beginning of a game-changing movement in Hollywood. I think this is going to be just the start of the truth-telling about what's going on. Friedman says, I met with a lot of people who told me a lot of stories. This is going to end up being a war that I'm going to lead the war. Friedman has been on the front lines of some of the most headline-making Hollywood talent battles in recent memory. He is currently representing Vanna White in her fight against Sony for a higher salary on Wheel of Fortune. He negotiated longtime The Bachelor host Chris Harrison's payout when he exited the ABC dating show after coming under fire for defending a contestant's past racist behavior. And he won an undisclosed settlement in 2020 for Gabrielle Union after she alleged rampant workplace toxicity when she was a judge on NBC's America's Got Talent, which that fucking coon, Terry Crews, basically was like, ain't no racism happening over here, but he wanted us to feel bad for him when a agent grabbed his damn dick in front of his wife. Okay, bitch. He famously won Megyn Kelly's $69 million payout from NBC News, and he's currently working with the recently terminated Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon after they were fired by Fox News and CNN, respectively. Ooh, it's about to get juicy up in Hollywood. Garagos' long list of celebrity clients include the late Michael Jackson, who he represented. I remember Garagos from that, from being Michael Jackson's attorney, who he represented in the early days of the singer's molestation case. He defended Winona Ryder in 2002 when she was charged with stealing more than $5,500 worth of merchandise from Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills. In 2017, he helped Colin Kaepernick reach a confidential agreement after the football star alleged the NFL tried to keep him from playing when he chose to take a knee during the national anthem. Garagos says that he has handled several reality show-based cases that were settled before going to court. I'm collecting stories that violate OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration standards, that violate workplace safety regulations, Friedman said. There is a case law that there are some of this fraudulent stuff and waiving future harm. It's no different than other grievances that are going on right now, like when you look at the actors and writers strikes. They sign on one thing, but they didn't sign on for everything else that they're being exploited for. That is true, because it's like a lot of times they sign the contract. A lot of these kids are thinking, oh yeah, I'm just signing up to be on a TV show. But mind you, these producers, y'all know the ill intentions, but y'all not telling these kids. Y'all think, oh yeah, let's surprise them. Let's do it. Like I said, when you watch shows like The Challenge, these other shows, these kids are damn near killing themselves for our entertainment. Now, what if somebody actually dies on these shows? Then what? Oh, y'all signed the contract, so therefore it is what it is. It should not get to that point that someone has to damn near die or have their lives ruined because they said something on a reality TV show that was a moment in weakness or a flub or whatever the case, because we all make mistakes. But their lives are, eternally ruined because producers want to consistently exploit that. 20 years from now, I'm no longer on a reality show. I can't get financially compensated. But this show lives on forever because y'all running it on a reality TV network that y'all done built. So reality stars do have a right to be compensated. They deserve to make merch and make money off of their likeness. And I love the fact that Bethenny is doing this. Now, she previously spoke to Variety about her call to unionize reality stars after being inspired by the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes. She's using her voice to demand some sort of regulations and standards to be put in place for the reality space, including minimum compensation as well as residual payments. I know I'm right, and I never know I'm right. Frankel now says, I'm not ironically a know-it-all. I love crowdsourcing, which I'm still doing, but I often second guess myself. But right now, I'm shocked by the people in the industry that would usually look at me and say to me, what are you doing? Don't do it. But no one is saying that right now. They're saying, keep going. I love that, Bethenny. I love the fact that at the end of the day, she has nothing to gain from all this. She's like, I made my money. I have a successful Skinny Girl franchise, and I've already made what I need to make from TV. Now I'm trying to, my goal is to pay it forward and to help people who want to be where I'm at succeed and not have to suffer. I was one of the lucky ones. I knew how to be smart. I know how to negotiate she did do the show, which is like an apprentice type show with Martha Stewart, not the one with Trump, but there was an apprentice show with Martha Stewart that she was on. So negotiating deals, business, all that stuff. Bethenny is a shark when it comes to that sort of thing. And not a lot of people know what to go in and negotiate. Not a lot of people know to get an entertainment lawyer. Not a lot of people know the steps that they need to take. Don't use the attorney of the network because the attorney for the network works for the network. They don't have your interests at heart. So all lawyers ain't, a monolith. You got to find somebody that works for you, read that contract, let you know what's going to go up in there, and you should be able to make a living wage or get a stipend for certain things. You hear the poor conditions that the Drag Race girls are going through. So hopefully they're the next ones to unionize. Drag queens in the union too. Like you hear all the stories about just regular drag queens who work in the nightclubs. They don't have no kind of protection, no kind of compensation, none of that. They're living literally scrapping by whatever. But also the Drag Race girls, a lot of them ain't making that much money too. Like the amount of work and hustling and all this other stuff they have to join, sign their life away and all those other traumatic situations they talk about they go through. Drag queens need to be the next one to unionize. We just need somebody, I guess, that's in a Bethenny position, I guess, get that ball rolling. So, speaking of, it'll be probably a while. I think I'm gonna take a break after we do this whole relationship thing because it's all kind of interlinked. So, speaking of people who are talking about boycotting, I did want to add this on. So Lisa Rinna is jumping in on the conversation and talking about that reality TV stars should boycott BravoCon. Because, I remember Bethenny did post something on her page where she mentioned something about, the unions and this, that, and the third and all that other stuff. And Kristen Doughty posted in the comments, and don't forget BravoCon. That's basically all she said. Something in those words. I may be paraphrasing, but she says about what about let's include BravoCon in the conversation because it's like when you're talking about people need to be compensated. Are the girls who go to these conventions, are they making money? Are they profiting from these things? Like a lot of them going in. Like we've heard the stories about DragCon. How a lot of the queens have to basically come up with the money for the booth. They gotta rent the space. And then they were talking about how they gotta shell out all this money to just rent out for internet. Over $1,000 to get internet access. So there was that. But then Lisa Rinna jumps in the conversation and I guess wants to take jump in the situation and say that she wants Bravo's reality stars to join Bethenny Frankel in her fight for fair wages by not participating in the TV network's annual fan convention, BravoCon. saying every SAG-AFTRA member who is on a Bravo show should boycott BravoCon. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum wrote via Instagram stories earlier this week. You want them to star to take you serious. You want them to star to take you serious? That don't make sense. To take you seriously and pay you the money you deserve, then start a reality show union per Bethenny. She concluded the time is now. She also, reposted a fans comment who agree with her, stating, "Shouldn't all woke Bravo stands boycott?" See, this is where y'all get on my fucking nerves, but y'all want to start using woke and this, that, and third. It's like, stop gentrifying and colonizing our words, please, because woke is not even what it means anymore. It's supposed to mean being aware of issues that affect the Black community. Stay woke from the racist white people. That's basically what that stands for. But now they want to talk about woke basically means anybody who is liberal views or is socially aware of the things that's going on around them. Meaning, like, if anybody who doesn't hate conservatives or anybody who's against anything that the conservatives have to say, we're woke. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with all that. They love flexing how progressive they are by calling everybody racist and campaigning for reality stars to be fired. Well, there's nothing more left-wing than workers' rights and unions. So I guess right-wingers are against workers' rights and unions? Is that what you're trying to say? And then Lisa Rinna, being that, she got more marbles in that brain than an actual brain, goes and agrees with them. Bam. But I guess she was looking at it because, you're accusing me of being racist and y'all got me fired from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So to me, this is not even about people unionizing. This is about you being bitter because your ass got fired from from a Bravo TV show for being messy and assigning and aligning yourself with Diana Jenkins, the lip licker, and her bullshit. So that's what this is really about. You don't give a damn whether or not these people unionize. And my thing is, if you're a SAG member who is going to BravoCon, first of all, if you're a SAG member, you're not supposed to be doing any kind of work, correct? So why would SAG members be going on? But I guess maybe the contract is different because I know Whoopi Goldberg is a SAG member, but she still has to do The View. But she's under a different contract because that's not acting per se. It's you're basically doing a show where you're giving your opinion. So she's not acting on the show. Same thing, I guess, with reality shows. So whatever. I mean, I do feel like people need to boycott, regardless of what Lisa Rinna says. I do think that these people at these conventions need to boycott BravoCon until you get the rights that you're owed by these networks. These networks are taking advantage of these people. Y'all making little crumbs. You get a little thing dangled in front of you every year so y'all can come back to a reality show. But look, you can't film a reality show without reality stars. And I know everybody want to be out here kissing Andy ass, and Andy ain't loyal to these celebrities. He's loyal to the network because he may be talent, the head of Watch What Happens Live and all that other mess. But at the end of the day, he has a moral, fixation on appeasing the corporate heads. So if you think that man your friend, I got a house in China I can sell your ass, and I'm not even real estate. So I do say y'all should boycott BravoCon, but I'm sure a lot of y'all ain't even going to do it. So it's just a waste of time and energy. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about, we got some relationship breakup news, and after we get through all of this, we're going to take a break because we are almost 2 hours into this show, and we still got a lot of tea to get to. So it looks like Beyonce's mama is about to be a single lady once again because Tina Knowles Lawson has filed for divorce from her husband of 8 years, actor Richard Lawson. Now, Tina filed for divorce on Wednesday, reports TMZ, who obtained the court documents. Tina cited irreconcilable differences as a reason for the divorce. Now, according to the docs, Tina listed the couple's date of separation as Tuesday. She is also asking for the court to restore her name to Celestine Knowles. Now, here's the thing. Why are you going back to Matthew Knowles' maiden name when, in fact, Matthew, the one that did your ass dirty, he cheated on you during the marriage and had a baby on you. And then, which we already heard the baby mamas coming out here getting mad because Beyonce don't want to give no love to her child. Beyonce got shit to do with this. Y'all need to leave Beyonce out of Beyonce over there in Jersey right now, giving full-on Renaissance teas. Because I saw Kevin Janssens out there and a couple other New York girls. They at the Renaissance party out in Jersey. Shout out to y'all. Oh, sidebar. Speaking of which, happy Dory Alley, because Dory Alley is going on. You know, there's shenanigans out in LA. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to Tina Knowles. Now, so yeah, why would you go back to Matthew Knowles' maiden name? Is it because your maiden name is Beyonce, which is Beyonce's actual name? So you don't want to confuse people by going Celestine Beyonce, and now you got Beyonce Knowles, Carter, LMNOP, Jenkins, and all that other mess. So you don't want to confuse the people. So is that why you're going by Knowles? Because I would not want to be associated as a Knowles after my ex-husband, my first ex-husband, did me dirty. But if you like it, I love it. So anyway, Beyonce and Solange Knowles' mom and Richard have reportedly been living separately, and eagle-eyed fans were quick to notice that Tina has not been seen by Richard's side as he's been promoting his latest film, Black Terror. Richard has attended film festivals such as the Essence Fest and Cannes Film Festival in recent months. Tina and Richard have known each other for decades. However, they got married in 2015 after 2 years of dating. The couple tied the knot aboard a yacht in Newport Beach, California in April of that year. The star-studded event featured guests such as Beyonce and her husband, Jay-Z, as well as Solange and her then-husband, Alan Ferguson, before their 2019 split. Other guests included Destiny's Child alums Kelly Rowland, Michelle Williams, along with Samuel L. Jackson. The couple's nuptials also included Tina's grandchildren in the ceremony. Blue Ivy, who was 3 years old at the time, was the flower girl, while Solange's then 10-year-old son, Jules, was the ring bearer. Excuse me, before her marriage to Richard, Tina was married to Matthew from 1980 to 2011. Tina and Matthew welcomed daughters Beyonce and Solange in 1981 and 1986, respectively. In the docs, Knowles asked the court to terminate the court's ability to award spousal support to both her and Lawson post-breakup. She wants to have her name legally restored. Well, I already said that. She wants to have it legally restored to Celestine. In May of this year, they showed that she took the kid grandbabies to see The Little Mermaid, blah, blah, all so on and so forth. Now, there is no word on the split or what caused the split, but word on the street, the deep, deep streets, is that the internet sleuths were checking out Richard's now deleted Twitter and discovered the actor liked some pretty explicit videos. But here's the thing. If y'all gonna do some sleuthing and y'all gonna discover that he's liking certain types of porn on Twitter, which we all got a freak Twitter and a regular Twitter. I mean, I know I do. But would you let us know what he was looking at or what he was into? Like, I don't understand how y'all look at the porn and y'all make the little memes and y'all trying to be funny, but you don't let us in on what exactly the type of porn he was liking. Like, was the porn with girls with a little something extra? Was it, lesbians going at it? Like, I want to know, is it big dick black dudes hunching, making little white girls, like, scratching their coochies, getting their coochies scratched? Like, were they doing all that? Like, let us know what it was. But y'all is keeping the shit a secret. So I'm like, okay, so whatever. Like, I hate when people when y'all tell stuff but don't tell it all. Like, I want to know. I'm nosy. Shit. So I don't know what it was. And then I also saw that video recently where she was talking about, oh yeah, she prayed for the perfect man and said he ain't all that great. And then he kind of gave it his look. So to me, because sometimes when I look at person, we look at Miss Tina, she do look like she get arrested bitch face. I don't know if it's the Botox. I don't know if that's what it is. But Tina always give me shady lady, like when her energy and that overall attitude. And I guess that rubs men the wrong way or whatever. So I don't know what the cause is. And some of the shady shit you said about your husband on camera, that don't help either. When you I guess emasculate, we'll use that word, your husbands, they feel a kind of way when you throwing jabs or whatever. There's only but so much men can take from women throwing jabs at they men or the way they come at them in certain ways. So I don't know. I don't know if cheating's involved, but I'm sure as this story progresses, we're going to find out what the tea is. And when we do, I'll be talking about it. So we're going from that relationship of splits to Ariana Grande allegedly being a goddamn homewrecker. So Ethan Slater's estranged wife, Lily J, is breaking her silence and says she was blindsided by her husband hunching his wicked co-star, Ariana Grande. Now, the musician also spoke out against the SpongeBob SquarePants, the Broadway musical star's budding romance with his wicked co-star Ariana Grande. Ariana's the story, really, not a girl's girl, Jay told Page Six. My family is just collateral damage. Slater and Jay celebrated their 4-year wedding anniversary in November of 2022 and share a 1-year-old son together. Both TMZ and People previously reported that he and Grande started dating after both of their previous relationships were over. The Thank You Next singer reportedly called it quits with husband Dalton Gomez in January, though they have yet to renounce their split. The story is her and Dalton, Jay added to Page Six. Grande plays Glinda opposite Cynthia Erivo's character in John M. I don't know, is it Elphaba or Faba? I don't know how to say her name. I have not seen Wicked, so I don't even know what the name, I don't know who the woman name is. And John M. Chu's upcoming live action film adaptation of the Broadway show Wicked, which will be split into 2 parts. I also heard they only had 10 days left of shooting before the actors strike hit. So who knows when they're going to pick back up. Slater is playing Bach, a munchkin who fittingly has a crush on Glinda. So it seems like to me that that is not Ariana Grande and the man she hunching. But to me it was like, you know what, I wasn't feeling Ariana Grande in the beginning. Because, she had some cute songs and stuff, but then it just took me recently to get over the fact that bitch was licking donuts. Remember when she was doing that? It's like, it seemed like anybody that's associated or aligned with Scooter Braun turned out to be problematic. We've seen Justin Bieber, and now we got this one. So I finally got around to her now she want to go out here and lick on people's husband. And then this story came out that apparently she is, giving Ethan the space to work out issues with his estranged wife. Saying that Ariana and Dalton both realized they were very different people and quietly separated earlier this year. Ariana and Ethan connected as friends first because they have a lot in common and many similar interests. And this is what a source told Entertainment Tonight. They added, Ariana and Ethan recently started dating. They have a lot in common and have a lot of fun. They didn't start dating until both were broken up with their significant others. Ariana and Dalton remain friends. Jay, however, has allegedly been surprised by the end of her marriage and told another story to Page Six, saying, Ariana is the story, really, not a girl's girl. My family is just collateral damage. This is what we just talked about previously. And then the insider told the publication about Jay, she's telling Ethan and others that she only cares about protecting their child. She's rightfully upset because her marriage fell apart, but Ariana and Ethan didn't do anything wrong. Ethan is just trying to take the high road and hopes he can resolve this situation for the sake of their child. Well, I'm glad Ariana's given the space needed for them to work out the relationship. She got a damn choice. You the other woman at this point. But here's the thing. Let's not forget, it wasn't once upon a time not long ago, Naya Rivera, remember her, may she rest in peace, accused the position singer of wrecking shop back when Naya was with Big Sean. So to me, it seemed like this is a pattern with Miss Ariana. If you believe the reports, that Naya said that she was in a relationship with Big Sean and they were not completely broke up, but Ariana done slid all up over there and got on top of Big Sean's Big Sean, and then them two wound up breaking up. So hopefully they work this out. Look, I always said this, until the divorce, y'all ink is on the dotted line, you dotted your I's across all your T's on the divorce papers, y'all should not be jumping in no new damn relationship with anybody until that ink is dry on them divorce papers on both sides. And that's the way it should be, because this looks crazy. And now Ariana out here looking a hot ass mess and looking like, a cheetah. Now, another breakup that happened, because we had Ariana's in them divorcing and all this other stuff. Then we got Tina Knowles divorcing. Now we got Raul Alejandro, reggaeton singer. Raul Alejandro and Rosalia, who I love. I love both of them. I'm big fans of both of them. They wound up breaking up. They were engaged for three. I mean, well, they were in a relationship for almost 3 years. They were engaged. They recently got engaged. I think like a couple of over in the spring, and now they've called up their relationship. And Raul Alejandro, he's cute. You know, it's them big old teeth. And he got the blue hair and stuff right now. He's looking cute with the blue hair. And I know he got the album Saturno. That's out. He actually put out another version of it. I think it's got new material on it. So the one thing with these reggaeton artists, y'all stay consistent with the music. They'll come out with they come out with like 3 damn albums a year. Y'all trying to follow Bad Bunny? But anyway, so it was announced that both artists, Raul Alejandro and Rosalia, called off their engagement. Now, rumors are swirling that Raul has been canoodling with none other than former Fifth Harmony singer turned solo artist Camila Cabello. Now, people who exclusively broke the story regarding Raul and Rosalia's split has called the Camila and Raul hooking up as forced. They just happened to be at 2 of the same events. The insider told the outlet they barely even spent time together at either event. The 2 events in question were the Inter Miami soccer game earlier this week and then at the Premios Juventud. Is it Premios? I'm having a hard time reading today, child. Raul has addressed that infidelity was at the core their breakup between him and Rosalia. There are thousands of problems that can cause a break, but in our case, it was not the fault of third parties or infidelity. During the space that I am taking to absorb all this, erroneous public allegations have emerged. The rumors surrounding Raul and Camila sound like nothing more, in my opinion, than a PR stunt, similar to her past relationship with Shawn Mendes. So I'm thinking, if they say infidelity did not play a part in their breakup, it did not play a part in their breakup. They probably just, we're ready to get married. They were, fast in love, 3 years, and probably realizing that, what, our careers are just on. Like Raul Alejandro, his career just started, like finally gaining traction, and his career is finally like catapulting because he's kind of changing his sound. Like he was doing like regular reggaeton music, but now he's like experimenting more. And I think a lot of why he's experimenting both sonically and the way he sings and this and the other is because I believe he took a lot of inspiration from Rosalia, who is not afraid to experiment with her sound, and she does different things. She experiments with a lot of her music, and she admits she started out as like doing incorporating so many different sounds into her stuff. So both their careers are pretty much on the rise. She was already a big superstar. She already is a big superstar. I can't say was, but is. And his career is starting to take off. So I feel like maybe their careers are going in 2 different directions. And it's like they're so busy, they don't have time for each other. And it's hard when you're a pop act, when you're a musician, trying to make it work. Because you're traveling around the world, he's traveling around the world, she's traveling around the world, everybody traveling. And, shit happens. So good luck to Raul. Good luck to Camila. Make sure you find a man that actually is into her. And, Rosalia, good luck to you too. I'm looking forward to the new music. I know Raul just dropped music recently. I think it was like this month or last month. I can't remember because so much music comes out. But I'm looking forward to the next the follow-up to Motomami. I love that song. I like the record. It's all over the place, but I like it. But anyway, so let's take a break because we're 2 hours in already and we got some tea that we need to get to. We got like, how many more topics do we have? We got like a good 6 or 7 more topics to go. So we're going to talk about Dwayne Johnson donating a historic amount of money to the U.S. Actor Strike Foundation. We got some Emmy news, Madonna news, Kylie Minogue news, and we got some Drag Race news. There's about 3 topics that we have coming regarding drag race. So yeah, we're going to take this quick break and we'll be right back with more Chris Avalon Unfiltered. My opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
I wish you all the best. I really do. Okay,
look at those shorts.
Thank you so much. Look at that hat. Look at that face, dude.
Come on, body. It's giving box.
I try, man. I try.
It's giving
I try.
box.
You want to see box? Look in the mirror, buddy. That's the only busted box I see. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the busted box of all?
Pull up your
Bye,
shirt,
buddy.
bitch. Pull up your shirt,
Good luck with
bitch.
everything, buddy.
Everything is given. The body, the face, the ass.
Well,
Bitch,
there's a
you
receipt,
box.
buddy. The only thing giving,
You
giving a
box.
receipt.
Don't need to wash your hands.
So, where did you get the idea that you don't have to wash your hands because you attached a drum foot pedal to a contraption that flushes the toilet? Like you didn't just touch your stuff, like you didn't touch your junk. I mean, not every guy has great aim. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you have to, you know what I'm saying, point and shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? What the fuck do you mean you don't have to wash your hands? The fuck? I can't even say this is white people shit because I kind of low-key feel like some other people would start doing this type of shit. So I can't even say it's white people shit. It's just guy shit. Dumb guy shit.
The devil is a liar. Hey! I said the devil is a liar! He thought he had my mind. He thought he had my joy. But
Here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Chill. I was watching a video while we was on commercial. Shout out to Cardi B, because Miss Mama, bitch, you got some good ass aim. So she was performing on stage. I don't know if it was Rolling Loud. First of all, I always call them the ghetto Coachella. But anyway, she was performing, and it was during Bodak Yellow. Some bitch in the audience with a synthetic wig on thought she was cute and decided I'm gonna chug my drink at Cardi in her direction. I don't think she got any on her, but Cardi took that microphone and went flung it towards that bitch and it hit her. So shout out to Cardi B. Don't play with, look, y'all could do that shit. You could throw phones at BB Rexa. You could do all the other shit to these other girls. But when you try to come for New York bitches, Miss Mama, you will not get out alive. So hope it was worth it, because now your ass got kicked out the damn event. And I hope they plaster her dusty ass face all over social media so we can know who this bitch is and they control her ass, because that's what you asking for. But anyway, welcome back to the show. I just want to point it out. Hope you enjoy a little commercial break in between so I can pull up these other topics, because there'll be so many. But yeah, let's get right into the show. And I want to give a huge shout out to Dwayne Johnson. Well, I should say Dwayne Douglas Johnson. Yeah, I'm putting your whole government. Who made a 7-figure donation to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation Relief Fund. Now, SAG-AFTRA Foundation President Courtney B. Vance, yes, Angela Bassett's husband is the SAG-AFTRA Foundation president, said that Dwayne Johnson's historic donation will help thousands of striking actors. Now, according to Variety, Johnson has made a 7-figure donation to the nonprofit, though the exact amount is being kept under wraps. On July 13, when SAG-AFTRA announced the union was on strike, SAG-AFTRA Foundation President Courtney B. Vance and Executive Director Sid Wilson wrote a letter to 2,700 of the highest-earning actors who belong to the union, asking for financial assistance for the other 160,000 union members who need it. First of all, let's pause on that. How is it that out of the almost 200,000 union, members, only 2,700 are actually making a living wage from being actors? The math ain't mathing. Like, come on. You have got to be kidding me with these numbers. Now, Johnson's team reached out to the foundation because he wanted to help, and he and Vance spoke on the phone. He said it was a love fest. It's like, man, you're stepping up in a way that is allowing others to know the dire necessity of it. Vance told the outlet, this is him saying, in such a time as this, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, whether you need me to, whatever you need me to do. And that sends a huge message to other folks to do the same thing. Because it always comes that it always takes that one person to step their pussy up. The SAG-AFTRA Foundation used the same method during the COVID-19 pandemic, issuing a letter to its wealthier members and opening up emergency financial assistance for actors. The foundation grants gave up to $1,500 per member from its emergency financial assistance program. If an actor is in more dire situation, then the nonprofit can dispense up to $6,000. What is amazing is that one check is going to help thousands of actors keep food on their table and keep their kids safe and keep their cars running, Wilson told Variety. And it's not lost on me that he's very humble about this, but it is a way for us to get started. And you know what? I have to applaud Dwayne that at least he stepped up to the plate and he shelled out some money. I don't want to know how much it was, but if they said 7 figures and he stepped up, then more power to him. I hope other people like Tom Cruise and Jennifer Lopez and the rest of them do the same thing. I remember hearing that there was I forget what article I read, but they were talking about that there was something or another, because I was like, well, why don't celebrities come out and, like the big name celebrities, like the Reese Witherspoons and other people, kind of realize that if you have a production company, a lot of them have a lot to gain by working with these corporations. So they're not going to be like a Bethenny, be like, y'all don't have nothing I need. I don't need nothing from y'all. I'm going to go in and let have and be the normal Ray. And I'm going to go and I'm going to help these people. Bethenny has nothing to gain from all this. A lot of these other major celebrities have something to gain from it. I think Dwayne Johnson's like, what, at the end of the day, I got enough money. I'm good whether or not, Hollywood want to fuck with me after this, because yes, I want to help my fellow actors. Like, I'm someone who's not the greatest actor. I'm a movie star, but I have benefited wholeheartedly from this, working in Hollywood. So why not help out my fellow actors? And I think that's the generous thing to do. Now, if y'all don't want to be out there to march and all this other stuff, like I've seen Mariska Hargitay out there, one of the highest paid actors on TV. She was out there with her husband protesting. Michelle Hurd, shout out to her, because I've been loving her. And a lot of you may not know her name, but you know her face when you see her. She got the blonde curly hair. She's fair skinned. She's been in a lot of shows. She's been on. She was on the first season of Law and Order SVU. She's she's been in so many damn shows I've seen. What was she? She was just recently in the pilot of. Was it the pilot? She was in the woman Maggie and Negan. That spinoff of The Walking Dead. She got eaten by a bunch of zombies. She was also on Star Trek, the Picard, the final season. Well, she was in a lot of the seasons in the past. Past seasons, but she was most prominently in the third and final season. So she's been around for a long time. She's been in a lot of stuff. She's kind of been out there in the front lines doing the speeches, speaking out and stuff. So shout out to her. Shout out to all the actors that's been out there making a difference and speaking up. I saw Bryan Cranston gave a speech. There's been a bunch of them out there that's really been out speaking for the actors and being like, yeah, we're not going to allow AI and these corporations to take advantage of us and give our jobs to some damn machines. Because at the end of the day, y'all need people to make the machines work. So I don't know why y'all sitting there thinking that y'all going to have the Terminator up in here making a bunch of damn movies and replacing your actors, because it's not going to work. And then Hollywood's already Sony delaying movies until 2024. Like, y'all not even going to see Kraven the Hunter until 2024. They delayed a bunch of the other damn movies. So whatever. And yeah, so I'm just applauding him for this. But it's like, I hope other big name actors step up and shell out money, because these people need to be out here surviving while they're trying to fight for a living wage. Let's not be selfish. Let's not be shady, but at the end of the day, I don't want to tell people how to spend their money. But it's like, if, I remember hearing another story too, that somebody said that there was a situation where one of the actors, they were talking about, oh, some of y'all should go out there and protest. And one of the actors, of course it was female, talking about, should they hire hair and makeup so they can go out on the front lines and protest? I'm like, bitch, first of all, are you not aware how hot it is out here right now? Like, July is on record as being one of the hottest months that we've had in a long time. So you were going to fix yourself to go outside and, hey, ho, compensation. We want, all the other, whatever y'all chant out there saying, what do we want, a living wage? When do we want it now? So while y'all out there chanting that, you're going to sit out here and melt your makeup off your face because you want to look cute for a fucking photo op. You dumb. Like, majority of these actors out here, female and male, well, just let's say the females, they're out here protesting, ain't got no makeup on, ain't got their hair done, they out here looking regular. I saw Sandra Bernhardt out there recently on her post. Shout out to her. Hottest month ever on record. And yes, it was hot, bitch. Like, at one point, I was like, should I go to the gym today? Because it's fucking hot. And this was Thursday. It was like, you going to the train, you'll be all right. It's like, nah, y'all trying to torture my ass. I mean, long story short, I did go. But for the most part, it was hot, because it's like, okay, I'm leaving my job. It's fucking hot out here. I have to walk to the damn subway at 96th Street. The subways is like, while y'all is 93 degrees outside, it's 193 degrees in the damn subway. There ain't no air in there. It's fucking hot. It's old ass tunnels. No kind of air circulation. Then at the times when I come out, I get on the train is pumping the AC. So then when I get outside, because I carry a rag with me everywhere, I'm sweating, walking a block to work or anywhere. So then it's like I get to the gym and I have to come out of the subway, walk to the gym. My gym is a block when I go to the one on Fulton Street. I walk a block to the gym. By the time when I come outside, I'm like, oh, is my asthma coming back? Because, yeah, once upon a time when I was a kid, I had asthma and I outgrew it. But then all of a sudden I come outside, and it's like you go from that air in the train, then you come outside, and it's that the air ain't pure. Like, I can't breathe in that shit. And is it because I'm like, my gym is not too far from the World Trade Center? So I be sitting there worrying about that. I'm like, well, damn, is that air still fucked up from the World Trade Center that happened like 20 plus years ago? So me trying to breathe and catch my breath out here in this weather, it's hard. So it's like, why am I killing myself for these damn people? So look, global warming, climate change, all this other shit is destroying this environment. I just hope that by the time I leave this earth, when I'm old, that whatever happens, because don't do it during my damn time on this earth, because I ain't trying to live through that. But so according to production, UN declared we're living the era of boiling, saying global warming is over. Well, global warming is not over. I don't know why people are telling that story. It is hot as hell out here. And then I was like worrying because I'm like, well, when the winter comes, are we gonna have a winter? Because we barely had one last year. So it's probably gonna be worse this year. We probably gonna have LA weather in New York in the winter. And y'all wonder why y'all starting to see sharks in Florida and all these other places. Because the water is warm. Sharks go in the water. Sharks thrive in warm climates. If you watch Shark Week on Max, you would know that. But anyway, I digress. And I say shout out to Dwayne and keep, doing what you do and fight the good fight. At least he was the one to step up to the plate. Now we're just waiting for everybody else to get their donations and stop being so damn selfish. But you got J-Lo out here selling fucking DeLola on Instagram. And y'all shady, because some of y'all said after she was pouring and making the drink on camera and then she cut it, they said, and after that she cut it, she poured that shit out. So they saying she ain't drinking it. I was like, y'all some shady ass motherfuckers. But speaking of which, since we talking about SAG is, and things being postponed, because we talked about movies that Sony already came out with their list of films that they postponed until 2024 and all this other stuff. So they did Kraven the Hunter, they did Sony, what else they do? They did the other half of the Spider-Man movie, the animated one, Miles Morales. They postponed that because they need the voice actors and all this other stuff. So, animation takes a long damn time. And a couple of other films. But that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is the Emmys. So apparently, the Emmys is being postponed because it's supposed to kick off in September. But if you ain't got actors who could show up and do the presentation and pick up the awards and stuff, you can't have an Emmy award show. So the 75th annual Emmy Awards, scheduled to air on Fox on September 18th, has been postponed due to the writers and actors strike. Now, vendors for the event have been told that the ceremony will not air on September 18th, the first time that there's been no official word on that the day has been pushed. This is the first time since 2001 the annual television award show has been delayed. This year's nominees include Succession, The Last of Us, The White Lotus, and Ted Lasso. Ratings for the annual broadcast have declined in recent years, but Hollywood still counts on the Emmys for its promotional opportunities. Every time a show, actor, director, musician, or other content creator is nominated, press releases, ads, and interviews follow. Both unions, the Writers Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA, have rules that limit the number of interviews each their members can do during the strike. SAG-AFTRA members, for example, cannot go on publicity tours to promote projects that are part of the strike. Variety reports that the Emmys could be rescheduled for January 2024. Thomas Miskus, a publicist with White Bear PR, doesn't like that timing. January is already a crowded month with events that include the Golden Globes. White Bear PR represents a number of musicians who are nominated for Emmys this year. From PR side, having the Emmy ceremony in January alongside tons of other award shows and film festivals is far less from ideal, and we all wished for an earlier date, Miskus tells NPR in an email. I hope moving the date to January is also not an indication of studios expecting a long strike. Well, no, they are expecting a long strike. That's why a lot of people are moving movies until 2024 because they think like last time when the last Emmys, when did that last until like 6 months? They're probably expecting a long thing, which means that a lot of these studios aren't planning on budging. Judalina Nera is relieved the Emmys could move to January. She is a writer and producer on the Emmy-nominated series Daisy Jones and the Six, saying because of COVID, so many creatives weren't able to be honored in person for their exceptional work at the Emmys these past years. So I appreciate the TV Academy and Fox's decision to move the telecast to January. She writes in an email to NPR. Hopefully by then, fair contracts will be achieved and we'll be able to celebrate historic gains for union workers. Well, look. It is what it is. If the Emmys got to move their shit to January, let them move their shit to January. Quiet as it's kept, I don't really watch these award shows because they become boring, they become stale. Although I kind of like the Primetime Emmy Awards though, because a lot of shows that I watch are being nominated. Like I love The Bear. I love, I haven't really gotten into Succession. Oh no, kill me. I do like The Last of Us. So a lot of shows that are being nominated, I do watch. I do watch way more TV than I do movies. So I'm excited for the Emmys, but unfortunately, we got to move it to 2024 if they can't figure out. But I guess, who knows? Maybe if they do come to a conclusion and they get the ball rolling and they figure out what they need to figure out, they pay people a living wage and they get compensated the way they need to be compensated, then we can move beyond what we need to move beyond. And then maybe they'll bring it to an earlier date, like maybe November or something. So hopefully they get all this worked out. Okay, so now we got an update on Madonna. The Queen of Pop took to social media for the first time in weeks since being hospitalized to share an update on her health with fans. Now, on June 24th, Madonna developed a bacterial infection that landed her in the intensive care unit. She postponed her celebration tour, but only days later, she was spotted out with a friend in New York City's Upper East Side. The pop star has shared an update of her health on Friday, June 28th. On Instagram, she posted a clip of her swinging her hips, clad in futuristic shades and a black outfit. To be able to move my body and dance a little bit makes me feel like the luckiest star in the world. Luckiest star in the world. Thank you to all of my fans and friends. You must be my luckiest stars too. And happy 40th birthday to my very first album. So I think the reason why she also came online is to coincide with the fact that her debut album, subtitled debut album, Madonna, turned 40. Which was supposed to coincide with the tour because she got the infection and all the other stuff. She couldn't promote it because otherwise she'd probably be on stage somewhere on the East Coast, getting, her flowers and really being in that moment. So it was reported on June 28th that she had been hospitalized. On Saturday, June 24th, Madonna developed a serious bacterial infection which led to several days stay in the ICU. Giles Siri went and said that her health is improving. However, she is still under medical care. A full recovery is expected. So I'm glad that Madonna's out and about and getting her life slowly back together. I think because her birthday is coming up soon, it'll be August 16th. I think after her birthday and she goes on vacation and this and that, because she usually likes to celebrate her birthday. And go away and all this other stuff. Now she's not doing a tour, she can do that. So I think once she comes back from this tour once she comes back from this vacation is when rehearsals will probably start back up for the tour. Because the tour kicks off in October overseas, and I'm sure that they're gonna want, her getting back in the saddle. But if she does get back into it, I'm hoping is they've changed up the show where she can take more of a Kylie Minogue approach with her performances, which is you can shimmy a little bit, you can do a little dance here and there, but focus on your vocals, focus on singing, focus on hitting the moves and this, that, and the other. I got the moves, baby. You got the motion. Okay. I don't know why I'm causing a commotion in my head. But just get to that point where it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna just move around on the stage. I'll hit my marks and any other. I'll do a little dance here and there, but don't try. I don't need you doing like pink backflips over the audience, and I don't need you doing crazy stuff like you did in your previous tours. You don't have anything to prove to us. You're a woman of a certain age. Your body doesn't bounce back the way it once did. You're at a point in your life, unfortunately, where you can easily get sick. Your body doesn't bounce back from illnesses as quickly as it would if you were my age or a person who's in their early 30s or a person who's in their early 20s or their teens. Like you're 64, you're about to be 65 in August. So, and this is no shade. I'm just saying, like, sometimes we got to realize we're human beings and we're mortal. We're not immortal. And we got to take care of ourselves because you're no good dead. I mean, maybe you are to the industry because then they could pimp the hell out of your damn music and release shit that you probably didn't want to even see released in the first place. So, Madonna, take care of yourself. I did see that she was recently spotted at a boxing match that, with her boyfriend, Josh Popper. I believe he was probably in the match, but I just saw the video of her. It was an entourage. It was her, it was David and Josh. They were all leaving the boxing facility. Somebody filmed it and put it online. So Madonna's out and about. She's getting herself back together, and I just want her to just work on her health and all other stuff before she even thinks about getting back into the store. But yeah, if you're trying to kick off over in London in October, Miss Mamas, you really need to take it easy, and you really need to take the time to get your shit together, and so that way you be in tip-top shape and give us the show that we know you can give us. But I don't need you overextending yourself in the process. Now, speaking of tours and things, and Kylie Minogue, since we were talking about her when I was talking about Madonna, it's official because after weeks of rumors, international pop icon Kylie Minogue officially announced that she will be taking her over Vegas with her very own residency. Ew. Wait, let me move this over. Okay, so according to Variety, the residency kicks off on November 3rd, and Minogue made the official announcement on Thursday via a press conference at the Pendry Hotel in West Hollywood. Tickets go on sale August 9th. And I found it funny because somebody heard that Kylie Minogue was going to, I forgot where I read it at, but they were like, Kylie Minogue was going to, she was flying to LA, and someone wrote, I hope you're going to LA to record a new video because, you know, we love her damn, but it's time for a new single. I was like, in my head, I'm like, no, she's going to LA because she's about to make this announcement for this damn residency. The residency, a lot of y'all don't realize, has been in the works for 3 years. She announced this in the press conference that she had, that this was 3 years in the making, and she said, I'm glad that I can finally say yes to this whole residency that's happening, which is more than just a residency. But yeah, I knew about that was the rumor because stuff was being rented out. There was a lot of word that she was going to LA to make this official announcement because it was slowly leaking anyway. She says, I performed a couple of times in Vegas, but as part of a tour, and particularly when I did the Showgirl tour in 2004, at that time we said, oh, this feels like a Vegas show. Then when I did Aphrodite, which was a tour with so many waterworks and like precision fountains, Minogue explained, my team at the time kept saying, why isn't this in Vegas? Exactly, because I said the same damn thing. When she had that, because she had water, she had water fountains, precision fountains in the tour overseas. But when she got to America and she kind of did the For Me, For You tour and all of the stuff, she did incorporate Aphrodite and a bunch of other things into that show. But because a lot of the smaller venues couldn't accommodate those fountains, that was omitted from, her tour. She said, my team at the time was saying, why isn't this in Vegas? We've got to do it at some point. She added, I was thinking years ago, I wanted to do it when I'm younger. Like, I don't want to do it when I'm at the sunset of my career. So I think I've got it right somewhere in the middle where I feel like I've earned the right to and have the experience to really enjoy being there. The All the Lovers singer also teased that what fans might be able to expect from the upcoming residency, sharing that it would be a mix of intimate moments and flashy stuff, though the latter details have yet to be ironed out. She says, I wanted to be the kind of essence of what a Kylie show has become through glamour and abandon. I've got some versions of songs that have not been heard, like reinterpretations of songs, which is exciting, like bed dances, amazing costumes, that's the base, and then we'll see what surprises we can come up with. So the announcement comes on the heels of the success of Minogue's summer dance anthem, Padam Padam, and ahead of the September 22nd release of her much-anticipated 16th album, Tension. The song bridged generations that became a TikTok phenomenon, and with Minogue's longtime friend and label exec Jamie Nelson telling Variety earlier this month that there are plenty of potential follow-up hits on the album, which is apparently more electronic than Minogue's 2020 disco record. As for certain songs in the album like Vegas High, Minogue described it as the last piece of the puzzle for the upcoming project, saying, that was a studio day where I spoke with my A&R and he said, is there any way we can add a song that talks about Vegas? I tried it already. We had nailed it, she shared on Thursday. It's just tricky to get the balance right about all the elements of Vegas, but we did it in a day. We were talking about going to Vegas, the possibilities. It's a shimmering thing in the distance. If you're flying in or if you're driving, the roads get drier and the mood changes. And as the saying says, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Is just its own little kind of wonderland. I was also saying that, you know what? We hear a little bit of the song actually in the Voltaire announcement on Twitter, where she did a little video of, where she says, Vegas will be so excited to headline the all-new Voltaire LV at the Venetian Vegas starting this fall. So you hear a little bit of a snippet. And they said that the Voltaire considers, the place where she's going to be performing only got 1,000 seats. Created by Venetian Chief Content Officer Michael Gruber and designed by Emmy and Tony Award-winning production designer Derek McLean, will play host to concerts, DJs, and burlesque performers. The theme for the space is Belle de Nuit, or Beauty of the Night. So yeah, we'll hear all her hits and this, that, and the other. And one of the things I want to say too is y'all gonna stop playing in Kylie's face, because I've seen some comments and I had to address somebody, and then people was living for my comment. But I was basically saying, like, y'all gonna stop playing in Kylie's face in regards of her impact on pop culture. So there was somebody that wrote, how many #1 hits does she have? Oh, because she's not famous in America, she's not relevant. And I think the problem that we have with a lot of these so-called music fans, or whatever the case is, because y'all don't know music outside of the bubble of which you've been force-fed to like certain artists. There are so many other musicians out here that exist outside of Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Like, Kylie Minogue is an international pop star. She's on the same level of a Madonna. They actually call her the Australian Madonna at one point. So their careers are pretty much parallel. Except Kylie Minogue was all about being a showgirl, and she's not very much like in your face or, provocative like Madonna is. Madonna's a more provocative pop star, and she's more of a rock star type girl. Kylie is somebody who gets up there, she sings her songs, she performs, she, sprinkles her little glitter for the gays, and that's that. And speaking of the gays took to Twitter, and said a journey to Mecca for the most insane gay people from across the globe. A Tel Aviv gay couple will be beefing with the Andersonville twink, a DC bear and a queen off with a WeHo barriers instructor, Australians beefing with Brazilians. I will be there. My checkbook is open. And Grande said, we will be arriving. A person by the name of House of Harry wrote, manifesting a world tour, also X. Well, she is going to be doing a world tour in between the, I think that kicks off around, I'm not sure, it might be around the same time as, or maybe it might be 2024 when that official tour kicks off, but she might do this first. But anyway, so another person put, dear gays, go to this show, buy all the tickets, but dig into Kylie Minogue's discography. She was serving way before Padam. Read your history books, Kim. And they're absolutely right. Like, people will have to realize, like, Kylie is, I've seen her twice live. She's an amazing live performer, and she definitely gives you a show, like, extravagant. A lot of money goes into a lot of her shows. And yeah, a lot of times she really puts out really good music, and her albums don't necessarily, like, one thing I like about her too, she experiments with her sound. She tries different things, and it may not chart the way they want it to chart, but at the end of the day, like, when you look back, y'all were like, oh my God, that was a hit, that was a bop. But her A&R and the label dropped the ball on how to promote certain records whenever she was experimenting. But Kylie always knew how her bread was buttered. She has a loyal gay following. She has a lot of, 30 years worth of songs in her catalog that she could choose from to put on this tour. And she's, like she said, she's got a lot of things she's going to be changing up and all other stuff. So I'm excited, and I'm going to see if I can get a ticket. But I did look at the package because I signed up for the email waiting. I'm on the waiting list and any other. So when the official date comes, August 9th, I'm going to see if I can get a ticket. But I did look at that package, and it said over $2,000 a person. So it's around, I think, $2,000, $2,100, something in that range. So you really, if y'all going to Vegas, you're going to be dropping a hefty coin, not only on the packages or seeing the show, but also the plane ticket, the hotel, all that. A lot. You're probably going to drop a good 5 stacks. I can see on this tour, especially if I'm going by myself. Like, I would love to see it, but if I don't, I'm really hoping that the Residency ends up on DVD or something where I can watch it. So shout out to Kylie. I'm excited that you're finally getting, the attention in New York. I mean, not in New York, in America. Like, the US, they know your worth. And what people also need to realize, so I can wrap this up, Vegas is a place where the gays go, regular people go. So Kylie's got the gays on lock. She's got the new fans thanks to Padam. So the kids that are now getting into her music and checking out her catalog because they love that Padam song because it was played to death. You got the international fan base who, you know, people from all over the world who love Kylie and have seen her overseas when she's performed. They're going to come to Vegas and want to see this show. So definitely, this show is definitely going to make a coin, and especially because it's only 1,000 seats. You know how hungry people are going to be for tickets? She's definitely gonna make the money back. So don't sleep on Miss Minogue, okay? All right, so let's get into our drag race tea and then we can get on up out of here. So remember 7 months ago when fans of RuPaul's Drag Race caused a commotion online because the long-running franchise was cut short to accommodate the shit show that was the fake Friends of WeHo? Well, Viacom has heard y'all cries because extended episodes of season 15 are set to air on Paramount Plus. That means we'll be getting 90 minutes of Sasha Colby, Anitra, Mistress Isabel Brooks, Lux, and a whole lot more. Now, from August 9th, fans will be able to tune in and relive Sasha Colby entering the Drag Race workroom and slaying her way through the season to her crowning glory during the season finale when she became America's Next Drag Superstar. Well, the 15th America's Next Drag Superstar. Fans will also be able to revisit other season highlights, including the Emmy-nominated episode featuring Wig Loose, the musical. And then I can hear Lucy LaDuca, let loose, I said let loose. I just want to say that. I love that damn song. But anyway, season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race heralded a major move for the show as it hopped from VH1 to MTV and went from 90-minute format to 60 minutes. But fans wanted more Drag Race, not less, saying, you asked for it and you got it. And we're thrilled to deliver 90-minute episodes for all of season 15, showcasing the joy and genius of its legendary cast, the executive producers, Fenton, Bailey, and Randy Barbato. The extended episodes come in celebration of the show's 9 Emmy nominations, including Outstanding Reality Competition Program and Outstanding Casting for a Reality Program. RuPaul also landed a nomination for Outstanding Host of a Reality or Competition Program. Ru is already the most decorated Black artist in Emmy history. Now, in addition to the extended episodes, Drag Race Mexico is also headed to Paramount Plus later this fall. Hosted by drag superstar Lolita Banana and season 9 contestant Valentina, the show is currently streaming on WOW Presents Plus as it sachets to Paramount Plus in the U.S. this fall. Drag Race Mexico features 11 sickening queens competing for the crown, including Argenis, Christian Peralta, Galavaro, Lady Kiro, Margaret Iya, Matraca, Miss Vallarta, Pixie, Regina Voce, Serena Morena, and Vermella Noir. Yes. And as the drag community continues to come under attack and face censoring, for the one of the production company behind the franchise, co-founded by Bailey and Barbato, partnered with the ACLU to create the first ever drag defense fund with a donation from MTV and the show. The 501c3 supports the ACLU's work to defend and ensure LGBTQ plus rights and has already raised $1.5 million and counting. So congratulations to all of that. I have to say, I love the fact that Paramount Plus is jumping up and they're going to be airing extended episodes. Now, if that's not a way to get y'all asses over there and start subscribing to Paramount Plus, I don't know what to tell y'all, because I will say this. As much as I complain about Drag Race and I have my issues with them, like I do with a lot of things, everything has its flaws, correct? I'm definitely going to be watching this season again because we just finished with All Stars 8, which, sidebar, I meant to point out, shout out to Candy Muse, because I heard that story about her and what she told about Mandy Salang sang, try to play a little put. She was pulling stunts in that finale where they said that they were, because, you know, they sang, they lip synced to Sylvester's Do You Want to Funk? And Mandy tried her bullshit and was talking about, and this was according to, because if y'all don't watch Roscoe's viewing party, y'all don't know what y'all missing. But Nature spilled this tea. So she said that during the thing, Mandy tried to pull a stunt, and this is the same Mandy that got cursed out by Kahana because Kahana was doing a flip during one of her performances, and then Manny goes, no, like screaming or whatever, and then kind of cussed her ass. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you doing? Like, if I'm doing something that I could potentially cause injury to myself and wind up paralyzed, you don't scream no or whatever when I'm in the middle of doing something that could be dangerous, especially when you know what you're doing, because you never know. Anything can happen at any time. But you don't scream and do crazy shit because you're trying to throw me off because you're thinking it's cute. Because now I'm going to fuck you up. Kind of like Cardi B when the girl threw the water at her. Or while she was on stage. So Mandy went and said tried to pull what was similar to when Detox and Jinx Monsoon, when they did their performance and they changed the song at the last minute, and she put it in the favor of Jinx winning that lip sync and then sending Detox home. She tried to pull that shit on this season. They tried to change the song from Do You Wanna Funk to Milkshake by Khalees, because they said that in the beginning they asked the girls, I guess when they were trying to record what type of song they wanted to do, they were like, well, what songs do y'all kind of like, the type of song that y'all like that you would sell, something or another like that. One of the songs on the list was Milkshake. Candy was aware of this because Candy is the producer. Candy, the producer muse, is aware of a lot of things that go on in the show, apparently. She be looking and paying attention when a lot of y'all aren't doing that. So Candy's smart. Knew what Mandy was doing and was like, no, fuck that. I'm going home. Call my mother. I'm out. Now, mind you, the producers had to comply because they already had the show filmed. You sent Jessica Wilde home, so you couldn't reshoot that because this is the finale. So all the other girls are just there to serve whatever that they had to do as part of the other challenges. But when it's Candy versus Jimbo, and you trying to pull a stunt so that way it could go in Jimbo's favor, the producers ain't even trying to hide the messiness they do anymore. They made it so obvious that the show is full of rigor mortis. So at the end of the day, I made a mistake. Go back to the way things were, and then kept the movie because Kenny wasn't playing with the bitches. See, she knew how to play the game, and that's what y'all have to do. You have to know how to play the game when y'all doing these type of shows. But anyway, shout out to Drag Race. I'm looking forward to rewatching this season so that way we can catch all the things and we get to see all the girls who really didn't, who claimed they had so much more to give. If y'all not giving, I'm gonna say when we see this episodes back and they extended it, there's no excuse for y'all being like, well, I had a whole lot to give, but they cut so much. I'm like, okay, we watching the show. Y'all still kind of bland. Y'all still not giving. Why you not getting no more screen time? So we'll see how the second final edit turns out. All right, so let's move on to our next Drag Race story, and let's give a huge congratulations to RuPaul's Drag Race and American Idol alum Adore Delano, who came out as transgender on social media. Now, in a heartfelt 10-minute video uploaded earlier this week, Delano addressed rumors that have been circulating around the internet regarding her body and her gender. She confirmed that she is transitioning, adding that she kept it really hush-hush in the first 3 months because I wanted to go through the beginning stages of the puberty privately, because there's a lot of changes and that integrates with the way that you think and the way that you receive information and the way that you react. I found that it's been very enlightening and has made me probably the happiest I've been in my adult life. The drag queen and singer-songwriter told her 2 million Instagram followers. Delano explained that 2 years ago, when she got sober, she was forced to confront her feelings about her gender and had persisted since childhood. This is a feeling from dysphoria to euphoria. Sorry, she said. She went on to share her life story. First, she came out as bisexual at 12 years old and then gay. During high school, Delano presented as a girl. Although she didn't yet know the word transgender, she told her mom, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. I want to live my life as a girl. Thankfully, her mom was supportive and let her wear makeup and women's clothes, for which Delano expressed her gratitude. Delano suppressed everything, though, when she was cast at American Idol in 2008 at the tender age of 16. I threw it away. I burned it. I tried to reinvent myself, she recalled. But then But I reinvented myself into something that was so uncomfortable. It was almost like a sacrifice in order to get what I wanted career-wise. By the time she appeared on season 6 of Drag Race in 2014, she'd already committed to a persona that didn't quite fit who she knew herself to be. But now Delano is ready to embrace her gender identity. I'm taking care of myself, she said, and I feel beautiful. Delano also said that she was having an unspecified gender reaffirming surgery in November, a step she described as moving into the euphoric chapter of the book. We only have one body depending on what you believe, she added, but on this earth and in this lifetime right now, I'm going to make the best out of it and squeeze the most juice out of it as I can and become the most beautiful butterfly that I can for you guys. Fellow former Drag Race contestant showered Delano with love in her comment section. Courtney wrote, I accompany you on any journey. I love you forever, my ride or die. While her fellow trans queen Peppermint wrote, I'm so proud of you. Welcome home, sis. Cornbread also expressed her happiness for Delano and added a word of lighthearted advice. Warn your friends that the mood swings are normal. It's a rite of passage and they should be honored to experience it. So shout out to Adore Delano. I've been a fan of Adore for a long time. Yeah, I remember her from American Idol, but I fell in love with her even more but first of all, American Idol was a piece of shit. They particularly were not the kindest to gay people over in that damn show anyway. I mean, you see what they did to Adam Lambert when he was the clear winner, but y'all gave it to Chris fucking Allen. Where's he? But anyway, I'm still bitter over the fact that y'all decided not to give Adam Lambert because y'all didn't want to market a homosexual to the world. And we see what y'all trying to do to his career. But he's still thriving, so it is what it is. But anyway, back to Adore. But it wasn't until Adore came on her season of Drag Race with Bianca and Courtney and so many of the other girls, Laganja, all of them, like that was like, in my Trinity K. Bonet, that was like the best season, in my opinion, of the great cast of girls. So I'm glad to see like Adore's finally coming to, grips with who she is. I know she was recently at the Ice Palace. Shout out to Dingan Ardicio. He had her over at the Ice Palace. She did a whole show, concert over there. He snags all the talent. So she was over there performing, and I didn't notice she looked full. I thought, oh, she's skinny. She's skinty. So I thought it was because she stopped drinking, she lost all the weight. And I did notice that her face looked a little femme, but I don't want to be quick to jump to conclusions and start saying stuff. I like to wait until people come out and reveal they shit before I jump on anything. I don't like outing people, like I said, until I feel it's necessary to out somebody. Meaning, if somebody is partaking in things in our community, having sex with members of the LGBT LMNOP community, but y'all out here throwing us under the bus and shading us, but y'all hunching us on the side of your best friend's ride, then yes, I'm gonna put out your shit. Like Dwight Howard. Like he's a perfect example. But shout out to Adore. I'm actually hoping, like, you know what, in the future when they do another All-Stars, because All Stars 9 is currently filming, I really hope that with the transition and Adore coming to terms with a lot of, her childhood traumas, and now she's coming into her fully formed self, that she would revisit the idea of wanting to come undo Drag Race All-Stars. I would love to see her try it again, because remember when she quit during the time when she was on All Stars? I would like to see her give it another shot. In my opinion, that would be a great thing that I would love to see. So hopefully that all happens. Okay, and now last but certainly not least, let's give another congratulations to RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11 winner Evie Oddly, who's mad now, and revealed that her husband is some dude she met on, she, he pronouns. I call it, that's what we do in our community. He met on Grande. Now, Ollie, aka Jovan Jordan Bridges, who's 30, took to Instagram and revealed several photos of his new beau, along with a video of them both saying "I do" during a courthouse ceremony. Now, last week I got married to some guy I met on Grande, Evie wrote in the caption, tagging their husband at Doug Illis or Ills. Dougie Ills, I think is his name, Dougylls. Now I have a lot of strong opinions about the institution of marriage, but you can hear all about those in my Estranged Love tour, Oddly continued. For now, I'll just say that I love Dougie Ills, and I'm so happy to be his husband. Oddly's spouse, who we presume is called Doug, was among those replies saying, "Love you forever, even when you make us almost late to our own courthouse wedding." All these Drag Race peers flooded the timeline to offer congratulations. Congrats, Evie, wrote Shea Coulee. Congrats, Evelyn, said Monet Exchange. Wow, congrats, Sissy, said Raja O'Hara. Also, how tiny is that lady? Asked Brooklyn Heights. It's what you deserve. I'm so happy for you. Congrats, wrote Kahana Montrese. Ollie's Strange Love Tour is set to launch on November 1st in Washington, D.C. Ollie will be performing across the country up until mid-December. So, yes, a huge congratulations to Miss Oddly. I would have never thought in a million years that she would say that she was getting married to someone she met on Grindr. I mean, if you get married, you get married. If you like it, I love it. But I'm like, Grindr? Where they do that at? But look, like I said, if you like it, I love it, and it is what it is. Now, when the more gays get married out here in the world, I guess the better. But yeah, I guess that's all I got to say on that. There's not much I can offer. I'm gonna add to that topic, but congratulations or congratulations. So we are at the end of our show. 3 hours on the dot, bitch. Yeah, we had a lot of time this week. It was so much. So for those who are watching, thank you all for watching. For those who are going to come and watch the later show, that's not watching the live, thank you for making it all the way to the end and tuning in. I live for the comments and stuff that you guys have been sending. I saw that there was one person, before we go, that commented and had the nerve to say, because I posted the Jason Aldean thing as a solo thing, they were like, oh, I see, I see you didn't get no likes on this post. I said, well, I see you ain't got no followers on your YouTube page. Like, you got no followers, no videos, no nothing, but you're going to come for me. Mind you, I got more followers than you'll ever see in your lifetime. And first of all, also, I don't live and die by the amount of followers and shit I have on this page. If you watch the show, you watch the show. Quiet as it's kept, I cut up a lot of these episodes and I'm putting on TikTok where I have way more followers and I get way more comments than the bullshit algorithms on YouTube. Although I do appreciate when y'all like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm to push it out and y'all get to see it and you can leave your comments and all that stuff. And I do see a lot of people do watch the episodes. However, YouTube is basically, I'm using it for the ability to stream live. That's all. So I don't live and die by YouTube and their bullshit. There are way more far advanced streaming services, or not even streaming. Well, I guess it is kind of streaming. So services that I stream on that push the algorithm and basically get my voice out to where it needs to go. So it is what it is, and whatever, bitch. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for production, for all of your hard work, because I put him through hell every week with all the stuff that I am doing. But anyway, nevertheless, love you all. And until next time, ciao, darlings. What's going to be silent?
Exclusion. Baloney wash. Annoyed. Hey, bitch. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Annie. It's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.